Oh, yeah.
And welcome to the Leafcast, a first-time reader show based on the epic fantasy series Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. My name is Ryan. I'm currently crying as someone is smiling.
Oh, and I am Ryan's brother Dan, and I'm burying my axe deep into the woods.
And this is the Leafcast. We are the Leafcast. We are the way of the Leaf. This is the Leafcast, and we are covering the last chapters of Crossroads of Twilight, 25 to the end of the book, and this is episode 163. My goodness.
I had actually had a quote, and I folded the page, and for the life of me, I can't find this page.
It's all right. It's all right. You know, we felt, it falls, you know, it's like felt, paper beats felt, Dan.
Yeah. It did it.
All right, well, we got a lot of chapters to get through. We have a special guest here who is with us tonight. Actually, let's bring that guy in right now. He's going to be guest hosting. This is Wada Hologassi. This is Brother Dan. This is the new guesting policy. If you're going to be on our show, you have to fly in, stay at my house, eat my food, drink my drinks, pet my dogs, and then come on the show. Ben, how are you doing?
And then do the same thing at my house.
Yeah, exactly. How are you doing, Ben?
Fantastic, boys. Fantastic. You know, like, here we are. Spoiler goggles on. This is my 15th most favorite book of all time.
Yes.
And, we are going to be here going to the end of it with these good people. We've got some explaining to do.
All right, hey, you want to remind
We're not
everyone?
here to explain anything, guys.
So, Ben, what's the old adage we follow? Question our answers, don't answer. Yeah.
Question their answers. Don't answer their questions.
You got that, folks? Yeah, no, that's a great way of putting it. Yeah, we're going to have, a lot of things are going to go down in these books. And if you're first time watching this, yeah, these are first time readers. They're doing their best jobs. We enjoy how wrong they are, and we just allow it to happen because it's all schadenfreude from here on out.
Yep.
All right, Brother Dan, you ready to bring in our first time readers?
You're gosh darn right I am.
You gosh darn right I am.
I want to finish this book. Let's get into.
Let's go.
This is the way.
And they lived happily ever after.
And they finished the epilogue together.
We finished the glossary together.
We finished the glossary together. That's right. Hi, guys.
Hey,
What's everybody?
what's up?
Happy end of
Good.
Our first time readers are clearly in a mind link. They're in a hive mind link where they have to read simultaneously or they cannot. This is how Case ISI is going to start remembering everything from here on out. Hive mind link. Got it going on. Whatever we'll weave. Hey Kay, hey Carrie, hey Josh.
Hey,
What's up, Ryan?
How happy are you to be kind of putting this tome to rest?
totally happy. Ready to move on.
I'm here to. I
At
love.
least be dreading whether or not the next book is going to be similar.
I have I have a gut feeling it's going to get better.
Well, one of the things I love doing is I love admiring bubbles, and then I fucking burst them. Guys, we fucked up. Robert Jordan writes the next book. We thought this was the last of his writing, and then didn't we? I thought we were talking about it as if.
Book 10, Ryan.
My goodness, I fucked up in my brain.
Well, I was really confused. So.
Kay, you're quiet. Can you get closer to the mic somehow or something?
Hello?
That works.
I'll say when
I'm right here, guys.
Great.
You've heard the story that when this was the book that I met Robert Jordan at a book signing. He signed my book, looked the man in the eye, and saw a soul. Anyways, I thought this book was extraordinarily clever when I read it. I was a little bummed about the progression of the story, but I kind of was like, I see what you did, RJ, you little scoundrel. And I was on board, I guess. You know, in retrospect, it is not. I mean, I was putting wings on a dead butterfly and telling, you know. I don't know about that.
Wait. Let's talk about this. You're putting wings on a dead butterfly. You're like, those wings are not sufficient. I need to replace them with my wings.
Bigger wing. Yeah, I mean, yeah, bigger paper wings.
Were the wings at least from the same type of butterfly? There are so many questions, Brother Dan.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
let's say
it looks like a Thopter from Dune, but that's just me.
we got some new people in chat. Let's say hi to Uber Spearmint. Nice name. Nils is here. Been a long time.
Welcome, baby.
Let's say hi to Narcissus, which is a great name. One of my favorite books of all
What's
time
up?
is called Narcissus and Goldman. No, you fixed it. We fixed it.
Narcissus was at WhatCon last year.
Oh, yeah?
Yes,
Yep.
great Matt hat, Carrie. I was going to say
Awesome.
the same. I love
Narcissus,
it.
I
Channeling
met you.
Channeling my inner Matt.
I love it. I love the Matt hat. I've searched desperately for mine, but my closet is, as one would expect, a total fucking chaotic mess. So it's down there somewhere. I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
so
we
glad.
generally always have to find the hat at the bottom of the pile, re-poof it out, reshape it. It takes a while.
To do where you find it. Yeah.
All right, Brother Dan, chapter 25.
Chapter 25. This is a parent chapter. After we had so long of like Rand and Matt.
Oh yeah, bummer. And then we got exciting, no dull moments, Perrin.
We get
Never a dull
we
moment.
get grumpy old parent.
What's
Perrin-
so sad? Yeah, we all know that Perrin's a fucking monster in bed, and we never hear about it.
You know
That'd
what?
be- like,
You're
if
right.
they added just a little bit of that, these Perrin chapters would be fucking awesome.
Who would he be betting down though? Ryan Barrowland?
He's not
That
even.
might throw a curveball in the story.
Yeah, we can't even do anything about this. Like, we don't have the opportunity to even see how fucking fantastic Perrin is in bed because
All
why
right.
is he not there?
His wife has been kidnapped. Ryan, jeez, have a
No,
little.
okay. If
No.
he mates with a wolf and Teleranrod, is that cheating?
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what? That's a guy.
In the same way
Yeah.
he wakes up with blood on his chin when he fucking bites someone. With her.
Absolutely. You can get hurt in Teleranrod. You can cheat in
You,
Teleranrod.
you can get
right.
fucked.
What stays in Teleranrion does not stay in Teleranrion.
Exactly. It never goes anywhere, really.
You-
So.
I mean,
You are
yeah,
here too strongly, young bull.
is.
Come on,
I mean,
strong.
Oh, let's say hi to Jay Gorsengar.
Hey.
Hi, Jay.
Hey,
Hi,
yeah.
Jay. What?
Just
The
we want to hear your thoughts. The more, the merrier. Just try and keep track of spoilers, buddy.
But, buddy.
Buddy, hey, buddy. Hey, buddy, watch some spoilers, buddy. That's cop speak right there.
Hey. You know how fast you're going, buddy? Yeah, so this is When to Wear Jewels. It's Perrin. Perrin is bummed. Yeah, he's looking at a map. He's trying to get to Malden. That's where Fael is held. But gosh darn it, there's a shit ton of Shido, and including 400 or 500 Shido wise ones who could channel.
Carrie and Carissa.
Huh?
Do you ladies, do you folk remember what Fael was doing the last time we saw her?
She
Oh,
was she trying to escape, or she thought she was going to escape, or was she captive with that ideal dude that was massaging her?
Yes, captive with the ideal dude who was massaging her. I had forgotten until Ryan brought up Perrin in bed and how we obviously can't see that, but his wife was like,
what made you remember that?
yeah.
Amazing.
No, but like, was she cheating? Like, she's been like playing this guy.
That's a good question, Ryan. We don't know. There's a certain ambiguity to that scene where we saw Fail last time.
Do you
Moral and ethical ambiguity.
Do you know 90% of massages end in sex? I read
That's
it.
why Ryan lost his license in all.
Ryan, you might be misappropriating information.
God, I'm really good with my fingers.
Misinformation, Ryan, but
I'm really good with my fingers.
You know, Josh,
Really
to your,
fun, man.
Josh, to your point, that was one of the more intimate scenes that we've seen on
And all the books.
where he is
like a
holding
torturer, like
to help with the bindings. And she's naked, she's restrained, and he's easing her pains and starts like rubbing her knots in her muscles and stuff.
clearly some sexual quote tension in that scene. Get it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he kind of jerked it after, if not before.
Wait,
Ben,
what
what
was
do
he?
you-
What was he rubbing her with? Is the question.
Yeah, he was just.
Ostrich feather, Ryan.
He's like, this is the ancient Aiel shiatsu massage, and he's just poking his wiener on his. Her back.
It got all blurry. Is that it, right?
And it's
Ben
not
had a question though. I want to know.
Wait, what's that, Carrie?
I'm just saying, what does this have to do with what we're reading right now?
Oh no, nothing, of course. Well, I guess that's
Where were you getting with your point? Like,
That's a very good question. I'm gonna take
How
time
do
out and
you,
think
well,
about my.
where I was going with that, thank you, Carrie, is how do you think Perrin is going to feel? How is Fail going to respond when and if they are reunited? Like, this chapter is so much Perrin's angst about rescuing Fail, and it really got to this point where I was like, what's really going to happen? Like, is it going to be a joyful rejoinder, or like,
is it gonna
are
go
they both
awkward?
scarred and like have been doing horrible things in order to get to one another, like, or being taken advantage of / consenting to extramarital sex?
Let's lay it out. Parent cut off an arm.
Everyone thinks Perrin slept with Berelaine. Fail quite possibly was sexually molested while tied up and tortured by her captors.
maybe.
Perrin has killed people and like is about to make, amends with the Shanshan potentially in
deal
order
with the
to
devil.
rescue his wife. This is some crazy ass shit. Like, and how is it going to look when they get back together? Is it going to be a good thing? Should they be trying to find one another at this point?
Well, they've been so good up till now, Josh.
Yeah, it has been. Yeah.
This chapter, really nothing happens. He's pretty much going from there, wherever they're at, to a town called So Harbor. So Harbor.
So happy, brother.
Mama.
So Harbor. There is a Taishar. You guys let me know if you think that this should be the first Taishar of this night. Quote, left to himself, Arganda would have been edging.
Yes.
Taishar! Taishar Robert Jordan, R.E.P.
I need to get
Okay, so
Go ahead.
I don't think we get there in this chapter yet. Or do we? No, we've already seen one. So, ladies, did you notice the ghost glitches happening during these chapters? Not this one. I think it's in the next one and the one after or two after.
The people
And
in so
remember-
hard seem to think they're a
They
ghost.
see the ghost. There's another ghost that is seen outside of So Harbor. Or Matt has an experience where he's walking down the street and thinks he sees ghosts. Before that, if you remember, there was I don't fucking remember her name, but there was a girl who saw a ghost in the doorway
With Elaine.
with Elaine, exactly.
Manners with Avienda when she was touring around collecting
Right.
useless Christmas.
And Elaine's like, oh no, wait, she saw a ghost. Doesn't give it a second thought. But like, this is the third or fourth occurrence that we see in these chapters. What does that mean? And should we be worried? Like, is this going to turn into Game of Thrones?
Hey, Dan, are we supposed to be asking the question?
Oh, no, no, Josh. So, ladies, I mean,
What? Yeah.
you can say right on. and
Thrones, like fuck.
I mean, so yes, we do see some ghosts. Do you think that this is, well, I would say to
Is
Varen.
this bubbles in the bubbles of evil again? Is it we're getting close to Tarman guidance? So reality's breaking down? Is it
Ooh.
dark friend shit? Is it Taverin? Has it always been going on and we just haven't noticed it? Like, is
I
it
like
new?
Biden thought like reality is breaking down because it's just like
Getting to the end times.
yeah.
Will the dead
I
have
offer-
a role? Do you think the dead will have a role in Tarmogoyden? Besides perhaps the heroes. But even, I guess, let's...
We've already seen the heroes, who are dead in Tel'aran'rhiod. Well, they're living in Tel'aran'rhiod, but we don't know that. They appear to be holy ghosts that return.
Yeah, I'm talking about non-famous dead, just like people that Matt almost ran into and stuff.
I know. You're asking a different question now. I'm just saying we've already seen famous ghosts. I want to hear what Carrie has to say before I answer you, though, Dan.
Okay, so I have a loony theory about this. What if this person is not dead, but they think he's dead? Could it be that weird dude that's coming in and out of Tel'aran'rhiod? That wolf guy, Strider?
Strider? Mm-hmm.
Strider? Slayer.
Well, I would agree if we didn't. The first one wasn't a woman, and the third time with Matt, it's like a bunch of people. But Matt's is different because no one else sees them. Whereas in So Harbor, everyone sees them,
No.
or everyone can see them potentially. Like it's a mass sighting as opposed to the other two instances, which were individuals where we have to question the validity of what they say, and we don't know whether or not other people could have validated seeing the ghost or if it was their own personal experience.
But
Right.
Josh, Matt did see the man sink into the. Like it is
Matt did see the what?
the ghosts are turning up.
Yeah.
Like you said, Matt's seen them. They've been around Elaine.
Mm-hmm.
So you think, Kay, and you kind of agree, Gary, that it's just a thinning of the world between weaves. So where did these ghosts come from? Are they recent ghosts? Are they ghosts of ancient past?
Are they really ghosts, or are they like people stuck in the in between? Are we talking like Stranger Things, like they're
Right. Right?
Yeah.
We don't know.
half here, half there, and they're stuck?
It seems as more likely in this whole world building situation. Doesn't it feel, I mean, at least to me, it feels like it's much more likely that they would be like stuck in like a half state of some sort than not. It seems weird that this would be ghosts because there's so many other like levels of consciousness that we can't understand as, you know, humans in our world. But like it seems that would be.
So if Tel'aran'rhiod, I agree with you, Kay. If Tel'aran'rhiod you can slip into and out of, and it's this like dream state. Tel'aran'rhiod's like an adjacent dream state that you can slip into and out of. What if there's a parallel in reality?
Right.
If we assume that the pattern has something to do with this, which why wouldn't it? Because everything does.
Absolutely everything, Josh.
Is this echoes of the pattern from a world of potential? Is it the past? Is it
time
like, it's
travel
hard to
related?
Go ahead.
Can you
What about
clarify?
like?
Oh, go ahead.
What about like the portal stones and how they were kind of like in an in-between state, like when they were traveling? Could it be something related to that? I mean, I don't know.
Scary. They said flickered throughout a couple of chapters, and every time they said flickered, I was like, is that a clue to the fact that this is like a flicker type moment where things are just happening too quickly and just in a different timeline? It feels like it could just be a different timeline that kind of intersect
potential
some way.
Are we talking about like the Flash and the Flashpoint? I mean, like, there's so many different ways to think about this.
One of these chapters is called Something Flickers, and there's no way that doesn't in some way relate to Flicker.
Yeah. So let me just get this straight. Did you believe that like Slayer, when he goes into Tel'aran'rhiod, his body just goes whoop and disappears?
Who?
Slayer.
Yeah, I think I think so. I think he's doing it like as if he's a Forsaken, or like Rand did, like going there bodily, like Rand did when in that first battle with Asmodean.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Where he actually physically enters Tel'aran'rhiod and like does shit.
Whereas when Perrin does it, his bodily form is still sleeping in the.
Same with Egwene, even though she's a dreamer. Right?
Yeah. They're projecting, so to speak.
Yeah, they're astral projecting.
But you think Slayer just goes in and out?
Because that's what we witnessed when Perrin was chased. Well, fuck. I don't know if we've ever seen him the other direction. Yeah, he does. He just appears in the bedroom bodily.
He does.
Murders those people and then disappears. So I think we have validation that that's how it works.
What do you ladies think about Slayer?
I think it's a possibility that it could be him. I mean, I think the obvious answer was be a Forsaken, but I don't think it's a Forsaken that's doing this.
Okay,
I think Slayer's way too in control to be the ghost.
No, Slayer is like the dark one. He's so slick and he's so like in and out, or he's like the dark one's like right hand man or something. This feels too slippery.
Yeah.
We do know Slayer has connections to the Tower of Genji, though, right?
I don't know. Josh, remind me.
That's the tower that we saw in Tel'aran'rhiod that like explored.
The big silver tap.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so then like a whole nother.
Didn't parents see him like flee into there or like enter there or something?
Didn't Perrin see the tower, but he didn't like go in or anything? He just
No,
saw
he didn't go in. He didn't go in it. He just saw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He just saw the tower
Which
from
book was that again?
Earth.
So yeah, let's move on. Let's move on in the book. Perrin pretty much wants to go to Sohaba. He travels there. But that's pretty much we get the cool little line that dress poor when you want a small favor and fine when you want a large one. Which I guess
by the way, I'm sorry.
Good advice, I think.
Master Loom's advice always worthwhile.
Yeah, no, it's solid advice.
Let's see. Balwer's hanging out with them, so they go boom. They travel. They see Shan-Chen. There's a flying,
Man.
rocking up there. And he's like, "Yep, not our biz," and walks on. Goes to chapter 26 in Sohaba. Sohaba is it sounds like a cool like oceany place, but man, it's a fortress. There's big ass walls. Go
They
ahead.
get up to the walls and someone says, "How do we know you're alive?"
Right.
I was on the edge of my seat when I read this chapter. It was like so like grim dark, like horror-esque. Like I was like, "Don't go in there, Perrin. Don't go in there."
It's not a great start, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and the Ice Guy is like, if I got to prove I'm alive, you're gonna be sorry, bucko. They're like, oh gosh, okay, open.
And Perrin's wolf sense is mainly the thing that's setting us off here, right? His hackles are trying to raise, blah blah blah. Like it's his dog sense that is noticing how weird it is.
Yeah.
The humans seem to be noticing too, but Perrin especially so with his
Right.
sixth sense.
He mentions that the Aes Sedai don't seem to be noticing, but then it's really hard to tell.
Because of their impassive pace.
Yeah. What's he say? It was full talk, yet Perrin thought the hair on the back of his neck really was standing stiff. Something was very wrong here. The Aes Sedai seemed not to sense it.
Yeah.
But it's hard to tell what Aes Sedai are letting on. So there's something going on as they're going in.
So is this like a stage? What this made me think of was what was the city that we destroyed that Rand and
Shallow Go? No.
Shadow Logoth?
Shadow Logar.
Is this like a halfway point of Shadow Logoth? Like,
Oh.
is this what happened in Shadow Logoth? Like, did something evil happen here? And this is like the residue of it?
Yeah.
And is this town on its way to become the next Shadow Logoth in the next age?
Perhaps.
Because like everyone's dirty and like.
But they keep saying, "Don't talk about it. Don't tell them. Like,
Right.
don't tell them what we know. Like, keep it quiet. Like, they know something, but they're not telling us."
There's a rank bad smell. There's all these weevils. But did you all notice too that there's all the weevil? The weevils also exist in the village's food. Like Elaine's picking.
Yes.
Egwene is picking weevils out of her oatmeal too.
Did you guys know that the weevils don't wobble, but they don't fall down?
I like honey nut cheer weevil.
Cheer weevils?
But are they evil weevils?
A little evil of a weevil, and they might weeble or wobble, but we don't really know how evil they might wobble or weevil. Anyways.
Nice.
Yeah. Swing and a miss.
Nailed it, I think.
Not at all. Not one bit.
Grain merchant. Like, hey, they pull out like the smash. They're like,
The
yeah,
glass
it's all like this. Look it, smell it. You're not gonna get high with. Yeah, there's the good stuff. And Perrin's like, all right, let me see the other stuff. And he's like, this is garbage. Weevil wobbles. They're all over the place.
So,
But they don't fall down.
Also, what's that?
They don't fall down.
He said they're weevil shaming. You guys are weevil shaming, and this is really rude. So
Do we have weevil? I always thought weevils were like I didn't know they were black specks.
They're bigger than specks, I feel like, but
well, if
who knows? Reality is a gray area in this book, so
I didn't want to go into this whole like topic, but it did feel like there was a lot of reference to color versus like being pale versus being very dark. Lots of references to that, and I don't know if anybody else feels
no,
that.
I mean I think Carrie said it too. It's like this is like a little vignette that's a horror novel.
Uh-huh. Yes. Yeah, it was really weird. Lots of references to death. Lots of references to
The horror novella inside of the Wheel of Time.
Lots of references to like how pale people are too, or how pale something might be, or
And
light.
their skin is dirty, and they like
Right.
are-
Yeah. Dirty.
All dirty.
Or like her one robes,
Oh,
the one woman's robes were completely covered in dirt.
Uh-huh.
You know, that felt important for some reason because it was like super specific. Anyway.
Yeah. Like layers of dirt, caked on dirt. And the river was just right there.
Oh fuck. Okay, so here's the theory. What if the ways are continuing to break down?
Look at
And
Hill Peak. Isn't that so pretty?
look at what if the waves are breaking down and they're starting to pop up above the surface, and what we're seeing is the time dilation difference, like you were saying, Carrie, between traveling through the waves and
Interesting.
the surface world.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
I was trying to think like how this could fit into the, like, if this is a bubble of evil, or like what other things we've seen that cause time to get out of joint. And we know the ways are like degrading like this too. Like everything is rotten and falling apart. And that's now what we're starting to see with the barley everywhere and the grain everywhere, right? Like rotting is taking faster as the Dark One is escaping from his prison.
Yeah, this is winter. I mean, it's cold. Yeah, this is unusual in such cold temperatures.
in fact,
Right.
the weevils shouldn't even be around in this temperature.
Right.
Crunchy and gruel. Moon shadow.
Okay, so I have a few things to say about this chapter. I really like the part where the townsfolk are like, "Oh, you want to see our grain supply? Oh no, we can't lift a heavy door. Let's go find some people." And Perrin's like, "Move away, butter effort. I'm gonna lift it up." And then he's like, And then they're like, "Oh no, we need to go fetch some lights. We don't have any lights." And the Aes Sedai are like, "Move over. I'm gonna like shine some light on." You know, like it was just so funny.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess.
Yeah, they pull their cell phones out and turn the flashlights on.
But like you said, Carrie, the team came together. Perrin just disrupted what the merchants were trying to do, and just by being direct.
Yeah.
And then the Aes Sedai came through and backed up every step of what he said. So
Yeah.
Dreamwork makes the team work, so to speak. He notes that I've got it written down here. Of course I do.
Of course you do.
He suspects that there's more to Bor than the man lets on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He says that a couple. He notices that a couple of times, and we know there is.
Mm-hmm. I love the theory of like just like the time difference. You know, I mean, it just makes a lot of sense. Oh, we love you, Tavern Tavern too.
Oh, Ryan.
And man, I would do. We're gonna dirty dance next time that we're at a con together. But
Then you'll
no,
have the time of your life.
we're gonna do Grease Lightning. You're right. It's not dirty dancing. I'm completely.
So, can these people even wash away the rank? Like, if
little wheels.
if everything is in an accelerated state of decay for whatever reason, can these people even get clean? Because Perrin wonders this. He's like, fear of the dead only explains so much. Maybe people were too frightened to think of washing, but it just seemed unlikely that fear would take everyone that way. They just did not seem to care anymore.
Oh.
Are they under some type of compulsion or spell? Like
All
Right.
the massages. All the massages. These massages are no joke, people. Also, you can do lots of things with massages. People in our world, even. So, like, I think it's the massaging. There seem to be lots of there's too much massaging for this. In some fucking major way. I'm sorry.
So Haba is a massage parlor.
So yeah. No.
Wow, who knew?
No, so could this be like what it would be like if the Dark One were like winning or like won somehow the war, right? Like if this is this just weevils everywhere? Is that what it looks like, or is and also weevils and then this kind of despair?
And some people die when they're touched by the dead. It sounds like zombies. I mean, okay, if this fucking book turns into a zombie apocalypse at the end, I'm gonna be so fucking angry.
Rafa is all
I would be so fucking angry.
Oh my gosh.
It's like the longest walk to the shortest story.
Matt Stagger. Now
Here it is.
All right. All right, you do it.
I'm doing it?
Yep.
Oh, let's go. Matt Stagger, he's in the house. He brings all the fun and he brings the mouse. And the mouse is small and it runs away. And then we find a stray. We got to find a cat who's going to kill the rat. All right, thank you. Look at that. Yeah.
Acapella.
That was a cogent rap.
Yeah.
Dude,
Thank you, Matt
so
Stagger.
high level, brother, Ryan.
I was not right. I normally pitch it to Danny. He's like, fuck you. I volley it back to you.
Thank you. I'm loving you. Matt Stagger, your generosity is only surpassed by your soft hair.
And his supple downy hair on his lower back.
Sweet
So,
All right, so let's winnow the good shit from this story.
well, yeah. So they also someone he went there from Galdon saw a dead person too. Guy walked right through the wall. He's like, oh! He screams.
Another
Oh!
person says they saw it too, which is again the multiple validation here. It makes it different than the other
Yeah, and the second one's an Aes Sedai, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, dead or walking to Sohaba. Lord Howland fled the town for fear of his wife's spirit. It seems there was doubt as to how she died. Ooh, intrigue.
So
Anyone want to take a guess? Brother Dan, why are you in the top right of the screen? You keep putting your badass self up there.
I haven't done a thing. Honestly, I've not done a thing.
I just keep looking up at these
I'll
amazing.
say hi to Jam again.
What's up?
Oh, sweet.
Is that Josh from
I
the Black
would
Tower
like to
podcast?
ask. I would like to ask, just before we get out of the Perrin and Sohaba stuff, what do we think? 3 days later, Maul comes back from Sohaba and he's got Morghase's boyfriend.
Right. So we're chapter 27. It's called "What Must Be Done."
Yeah.
Parent just sticks around watching all that shit going on. Goes back. There is Tyshar, guys. Quote: erect without a worry in the world or a thought in his head.
Yeah, Tyshar.
All right, Tyshar.
That works.
Did I miss something Perrin did? I'm not sure.
Did you miss?
Say again?
Maybe. I don't know. Did you miss something?
So we
I
hear
think
that Bauer's going to be another day with Talonvor, but he doesn't know Talonvor. But Perrin's like, fine, tell him to hurry, but I'm peacing out within the hour. Bye.
So-
Just take whatever we got. Go.
Could it be that the creator is punishing this town for being stingy with their grain during the winter?
Okay, so
Weren't we told that they kept it all so that they can make a bigger profit by the prophet, by Massima? Like many chapters ago, we were told by Massima there's this town.
It's been hoarding. It's got.
I've heard that it's hoarding its grain.
Yeah.
Oh shit, Josh! Jesus Christ. Okay, so is it like Sodom and Gomorrah? Is it?
Yeah, that's what I was. Yes, exactly. Yeah, Sodom and Gomorrah kind of style.
Instead of pillars of salt, it's just gruel,
weevil infection,
weevils, and dour bad sex. Just really depressed sex.
Zombies or whatever, like
Yeah.
spirits that can kill you by touching you when they come back into the world.
And how do you die of fright? A heart attack, I guess. But I mean,
Yes.
No, brother Dan, it's called a parasympathetic rebound. You get so scared. You don't get scared from the adrenaline doesn't kill you. It's the parasympathetic rebound that kills you.
So you know what? Give everybody in your life a hug right now to compress that parasympathetic nervous system. Jesus.
8 seconds. 8 seconds of hug, and then you release the bonding hormone.
Wait, what?
Yes,
If you-
exactly.
If you hug for less than 8 seconds, you don't release bonding hormones, oxytocin.
Right.
But if you hug for 8 seconds or more, you do.
No, but like, what if you're like, get the fuck off? like, why are you like? Oh my
And you
God,
probably
this is-
don't want to be creating bonding hormones with that person by hugging them.
I can do it in 2 seconds.
Yeah,
we all know this.
Off
Brother Dan.
gas at a high rate, Brother Dan.
That good? Yeah, I hug
You're that
so
good?
out. The 2 seconds. Boom.
I think that's premature, brother Dan.
Yeah,
is.
sometimes.
Premature oxytocining.
Yeah, it feels like you should like
You should get that checked out, Brother Dan. I hear
You
they
need
make
some oxytocin
They
stamina.
make a good little
oxytocin dysfunction, some OD medicine.
Yeah, you
You
should
know,
do your,
honestly,
you should do
I
your
don't.
oxy kegels.
I honestly do not see what the problem is.
Oh my God, that's the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen. On
I mean,
that is so fucking
Sorry,
funny, man.
I'm sorry for
Holy
the gimmick
shit,
in your life,
Dan.
Brother Dan.
Dude, there's so many layers to that joke.
so much more efficiently. This is ridiculous.
I honestly don't know why. 2 minutes. All right,
So,
that's
Gary,
2 seconds.
Carrie, did you have anything written down about Perrin in this chapter?
Thank you, Ben.
Learn anything new about Perrin?
Oh, in your notes.
Was there something that he
Oh.
did that maybe surprised you or you thought was
Yeah, he cut off someone's hand.
Yeah. It's a
And so, what do you think of his tactic of saying, well,
I mean, I
I'll
feel
just-
like he always thinks outside the box, and he doesn't do the thing that's expected of him. He finds a different alternative way to get the problem addressed. So he got the stone dogs to do what he wanted them to do without torturing them.
Yeah.
And everybody thought you had to torture to get answers. So he just scared the crap out of them by saying, I'm going to make you a beggar on the street, and you're going to live your life like a beggar. And they're like, oh, we were so scared of that we're going to,
So I have a question for you, Carrie. So is Perrin behaving with or against the pattern? We've talked about this before, like how going to rescue Fail may not be on path for the pattern.
This became so clear
Do you
to me.
think this is a continuation of that, or has he fallen into lockstep with the pattern? Is this against it, for it?
I mean, I feel like things are going his way in a positive way, even though it doesn't seem like it. So I would say the pattern's pushing him to where he needs to go.
What about you, Krista?
I think that it became very clear to me during this specific chunk of a massive amount of information again that seems to happen at the beginning and then at the end of every book.
Mhm.
That Perrin is I feel like my instinct, and this is probably wrong, but that he is like more of the dark pattern of sorts, or like for the dark situation. I don't know. There's
Because he chopped an arm off?
Because of the way that he's shifting in stuff, and because of there were a couple of, I'm going to try to find the examples, but it was because of dark references a lot in Perrin's episodes, mostly, that made me think that though. It wasn't necessarily like his actions, although it was different. It wasn't, it was heinous in these like weird, bizarre ways that seem very out of character for Perrin, because I even liked reading this chapter, and I don't generally like Perrin chapters. So,
Do you think his love of Fael is going to kind of undermine him and make him turn bad somehow? Like he's going to make? Do you think he's making bad decisions to try and save him?
Yes,
Save her, I mean, yeah.
I think that like Elida's thinking that her baby can like that baby situation is just like, oh, everything's fucking. Wait, no, not Elida. Wait.
Yeah.
Sorry, Elaine.
Elaine, yeah.
Thank you, Elaine. I think that's similar in the way that there's just like negligence attached to it. Not in the same ways, though.
So expound from that. So you think, what is anti-pattern? So he's going against, quote, the pattern, and that is then working him towards the Great Lord instead of
Fael's to Perrin necessarily. Like, I don't think she is an important part
right.
of this for
But
Perrin.
then he meets the Sanchin at the end of this all.
But his love for her and everything that he feels for her is so strong that it's pulling him literally in a different way than the pattern is, and that feels really crazy.
Do you think it is separate from the pattern? Like, rescuing Fael is not a part of the pattern.
Yes.
Do you think
You
that?
too?
I don't know.
Do you think like parents? Oh, do you think like the pattern wishes him to be doing something else, but his will and his love is just forcing it
That's
in a
what I
different way?
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to get to.
I do think that. Yeah,
Well,
I do think that
Carrie, do
his
you agree?
passion for what is happening with Fael and his concern for her is just too much. Okay, sorry, Dan, go.
So what?
Oh, no,
but what does that mean though? Like,
Hang on,
sorry,
Ryan.
Brother,
Carrie agrees.
Carrie.
Okay, can you rephrase the question, please? I'm getting a little lost in the conversation.
Do
He
you,
rephrased it for me. Yeah.
do you think that Perrin rescuing Fael is in line with the pattern or against it? Or not a part of it?
Great way. That's going to be the poll.
Three choices.
Well, let's go into this scene.
Okay. I'm gonna say Pattern because she is his Falcon and Verlaine is his Hawk, and that was predicted by men. So,
but we also saw that they were pulling him different directions in the vision. That they weren't both pulling him in the same direction.
Right.
Is that what it said, Josh?
The poll is live. Is rescuing Fael part of the pattern? Yes or no?
So maybe that is exactly what that. Maybe that's exactly what that is then. Yeah.
And if it is against the pattern, how does this so harbor an effect?
Well, no, maybe it's for the pattern, and he's supposed to be pulled in two different directions. Like that's
in order to make a certain decision, right?
Oh shit! Okay, so like he needs to be challenged in this way to progress.
Well, that's where the Shanshan, him meeting the Shanshan at the end of this. Does Rand need the Shanshan on his side? And if so, is Fael's abduction the way that happens in the pattern? Or does the pattern just regroup itself because he went so far astray? We don't know that either, right? Maybe it's self-correcting. Garden, okay.
Stop! No, shit. Okay, all right. Your like encapsulistic, minimalistic view is getting very. I'm just kidding. All right, Carrie,
so let's talk about this.
Wait, Carrie's gonna say something. Dan,
okay.
Carrie.
Okay. I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about this more later, but I just wanted to quickly say this: the whole ending of this chapter, where he talked about, okay, he just arrived and he's got Sanshan soldiers, blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. So that means that the Sanshan are now gonna be allies instead of enemies, and we're gonna ally with them to then defeat the Shido. I'm guessing, like it's like a twist, a weird twist.
It is, yeah. And Rand was already meeting with them too. Remember, in the later chapters, Rand is talking about meeting with the Shanshan as well to try to form an alliance.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think that's gonna go?
Bashir comes back.
Right. And we there was this question of who. Remember, Bashir made that weird enigmatic remark about like, let my visitor from yesterday know I'm interested in talking more or something. I don't exactly remember what he said.
Close enough. Like the fact that you remember that at all is amazing.
And we were like, what the fuck? Who visited Bashir and why? So was it the Sanshan then? Is that the implication here?
It was after Deira was stabbed.
Right.
His wife. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
It's a really good question, Carrie. I love it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you sorry.
I was just going to say that he and Logain went to negotiate this new meeting, and it won't be with the High Lady Surath.
Right.
It will be with the Daughter of the Nine Moons.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, do we know?
But she's been abducted, and Matt has her.
What?
All right.
But she's been abducted, and Matt has her, but they're not admitting that, right? The Shanshan are not admitting that. So everything's kind of fucked up.
So Matt,
with High Lady Surath and
yeah.
So,
I think we understand that Matt knows he's with the Daughter of the Nine Moons. Like he's had that phrase in his mind.
Yeah.
But no, he's been told that that's who she is. That was the whole thing. That's why he said, "Oh, I'm going to marry you 3 times."
Yeah, it's all
but Rand doesn't know that he's got her.
No, of course not. Rand doesn't know.
Absolutely.
Right. I'm saying that since the Shanshan even are hiding it from the public, and she seems to think like the way she's acting, she's got Matt under her thumb. So I mean, again, it gets super complicated. Carrie, you want to say something? Go ahead.
So I want to take this one step further. With my last thought, I'm trying to remember what the hell I said.
Rewind the tape, Dan.
But I wanted to talk. I was talking about the Sanshan and how that's like a twist of events. Right. So Matt being in a relationship with Chuan, I think, is the turning point that is going to allow them to now have an alliance. And Matt's relationship with her is going to basically give the other guys the tools that they need to then fight the bad guys and get his wife back. So I feel like rescuing Fail is part of the pattern because of how the Sunshine are being part of this now through Matt. I mean, I don't know how to word it, but
that makes sense. That's awesome.
So if
I like that, Carrie.
anyone else, I mean, that Matt is now in a relationship with someone he has prisoner is like a weird role reversal from
Thailand
and Matt, which is a little like, I don't know what to think and feel about that in terms of like social commentary and
but is I mean
but
well, let's not go too much into Matt until we get to that chapter if we can.
Oh yeah. Well,
let's stay with Parent.
Yeah, let's get to the torture itself, okay?
Oh yeah. Let's change the music. Torture music.
Oh, torture music. Yeah. No, depth charge. Just kidding.
Torture music.
This is sex dungeon music. Right?
Yeah, you lulled to sleep during the torture.
So they have the guy spread eagle. They got some coals on his belly.
Oh, ouch.
Right?
Yeah, show me, Dan.
So he's like this.
Pull your shirt up. First off, Brother Dan, I love your new background. This is fun. All right, open belly, coals on this shirt.
Oh, I like your new background too.
Honey, he's reenacting torture.
Yeah.
I moved and then some guy puts it back on.
Nope. Okay.
All right, thank you.
I love the metaphor here too, where like this chapter starts out with winnowing the grain, and Perrin has basically been like winnowed by this experience down to this point where he like is willing to do what must be done. It's a great like metaphorical arc that's built into the chapter, and that I loved. I really liked that like meta arc in there for this chapter. It was cool.
So let's talk a tiny bit about Perrin here. If they had said, you know what, you give it 3 hours and this guy's gonna start singing like a jaybird. This guy's loose lips, he's gonna tell you everything. You just got to sizzle his belly for 3 more hours. What do you think Perrin would have done? He would have said, all right, I'll be back in 2 hours and 45 minutes. Gotta go.
Yeah. Set a time. Hey, Google, set a timer for 2 hours and 45 minutes.
So I guess the question is, do you think that Perrin was okay with this torture if it was going to be effective? Did he stop it because of its lack of effectiveness or because he had some sympathy?
What's going on, guys? Talk about it. Talk it out.
Yeah.
Take sides, duke it out.
What must be done? So is he just a complete violation of the Geneva Convention? Honestly.
You can interpret what must be done in different ways. I think that's kind of what Josh was getting at. Like there's different layers upon layers of what this means. He's doing what needs to be done in order to rescue his wife, but he is also doing what needs to be done to feed his people. And he's also doing what must be done to get answers from the Stone Dogs. I mean, it's kind of like pick your poison there.
Well, Perrin comes back and he gets information from multiple sources.
Yes.
People have been captured. The Galadinians and Massima's men haven't.
Yes.
On the way, he finds out that they're stone dogs, and basically the IL say, you know, we could have done it, but it'd take days to make them say anything because they're stone dogs, and everyone knows stone dogs are like stupid or stubborn or whatever.
But
I'm sorry, Brother Dan, real quick. Ben was a good historical equivalent to the stone dog.
A historical equivalent to a stone dog would be there were Apache warriors that refused to retreat.
Okay.
So I think it's less. I mean, I don't mean to shit on the question, but it's less about the torture than it is about taking control. Like, it's not. Perrin's not doesn't give a fuck about the torture. He tortures them himself.
Yeah.
This is about coming in and taking control from Massima and the Galdinians and proving that he is the one in control of the situation. This has nothing to do with the torture. There's no ethical question here. This is Perrin coming in being the fucking big dog and taking control. And the way to do that is by doing exactly what he did. Literally taking control of the situation and breaking the person in the moment. It's not about, this isn't a question of like wartime ethics. Like, this is Perrin taking control. It's
Well,
go ahead.
Is it because also how fucking punk rock this Aiel is, who is the most Braveheart guy in the world? They take away his thing and he just starts singing like football songs.
Ole, 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 ole. No.
Have a 10, take your cock and put it in your butt.
No. Well, okay, so I had so many thoughts before the fucking songs for the show. It's like, oh my god, I had so many meaningful points until we got funny. Damn it! All right. Okay. So no. Here's my thought. Okay. So he says he fucking cuts their arm off and says heal him. If he does it again, I'll cut it off. Heal him again. Let's talk about the Aes
You do
Sedai.
this 4 times. You have 4 chances before.
Let's talk about the Aes Sedai who's healing him.
Yeah, he's definitely using the Aes Sedai. Again, it's showing his power.
No, but is it within the? Is, no. He's being fucking Trump right now. But like, is it within the bounds of an Aes Sedai to actually do that? Isn't that using the power as a weapon to heal someone just to be fucking tortured again?
No, it's healing.
It's not against the oaths or anything.
We know that they can lie by misusing words.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they be able to heal in order to kill?
Jesus. All right. So
It's an interesting point you raise, Ryan, but I
apparently they don't want to explore it.
It doesn't seem that Aes Sedai are fucking conniving. You know what? Like, there's no surprise that they're able to do evil shit. Like, we've seen them do evil shit all along and lie and control.
Yes.
Like, I don't know. I'm not a big fan.
Quote, the man grunted in pain, then reared up convulsively with a snarl, deliberately spraying the blood that gouted from his wrist across Perrin's face. You imagine just getting your hand cut off and pointing your stumpy stump?
Yeah, like a fucking hose. Like a garden hose. Yeah, fucking Ben, that's amazing. Like LBF, he says, Perrin is brutal as a dark friend here. I'd say he feels it though, but does he really care as long as he gets Fael back? Is he blinded by Fael love?
Absolutely.
Like, is this a guy you want the nuclear codes with if they just kidnap your fucking wife and you, like, he would fucking nuke him, wouldn't he? Right?
All right. So I'll put it to our first-time readers that Perrin has been learning to delegate a lot of things. And here he goes to Soul Harbour himself, even though it wasn't necessary. Then he comes back and he finds that guy that collects ears burning someone's stomach. And he goes, well, that's not going to work.
I'm just going to chop your hand off.
Yes,
Threaten to leave you in the village.
A lifetime of shame and pain. Bang!
So it's Josh is right.
No pain, actually, just shame.
Have it right there. It is a Princess Bride moment. To the pain. Where he said it worked on Prince and it worked on freaking these Aiel.
I don't think it was about the pain though. It was about the shame only for the Aiel.
The shot,
right.
Yeah, right.
And that's what Perrin instinctively knew after his time and exposure with them with Gaul.
The pain of the
was
shot.
how to leverage their shame against them because they can't be broken with physical pain. They have to be broken with sociocultural manipulation.
It's also the moment where he throws away his axe, Josh.
It is, yeah. So does that mean he now has picked up the hammer, or is he toolless?
So let's talk a tiny bit about Aram's role in this and Elias.
So Aram seems like he's turned to Massima's side. Like we already didn't trust him last time we talked about him.
Yeah.
But now he really seems like he's one of Massima's followers.
Yes. And these chapters felt like it just really solidified like that for Perrin. And just all the dark reference. I cannot get over these dark references. So, yeah.
Do you have them underlined, Kay?
No, I wish I did. I was flip-flopping back and forth between audio and the book.
I've got a quote for you, Josh. He shared his jealous scowls between the Mainers and the Galadanians. When he saw Perrin, the man's scowl turned sullen, and he hurried off, wandering through the Two Rivers men waiting for their breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
It's all dark days for Aram.
Yeah. Definitely seems like Aram's going to be the one to betray Perrin, if there is anyone.
Dun, dun, dun! You heard it here first, people. Josh, with a solid prediction without any wishy-washy kind of hedging bet stuff going on at all.
But you know what? Josh also said that like books ago. Josh has been onto this guy for a while. It's no surprise.
I'm not saying he didn't.
No, I'm just agreeing with you. He's on.
Do you think that Aram had some part in influencing Perrin's behavior?
Mm-hmm.
To go after Fael?
Or
Maybe.
to get the answers? He's like, do it, man. Do it. Fucking do it. What are you, a pussy? Go do it.
Oh, for taking it.
He's like, just give it. Fine, leave. I'll do it. Just fucking do it, man. Perrin's like, yeah, you're right. Thunk.
Aram's been
hosed.
looking since book 4. I mean, really, he was a bit kooky in book 1. A bit. But, like, in book 4, when he picks up the sword and things like that, is he just, like, what's happening with him? What do you think, Carrie? What do you think about
Aram?
Yeah.
So I'm going to use a martial arts reference here. It kind of reminds me of karate, where Aram wants to learn karate, but instead of doing it like in a peaceful manner, he wants to join Cobra Kai and do like the evil karate. You know, like he just wants to like kill them all. Like he just wants to get in there and like punch someone. And Elias is the opposite of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I like that. I like that a lot.
I like that too.
Funny. Yeah. But he is the last one who says, if you can't do this, Aram said desperately, then go away. I'll help see to it.
I mean, I'm going to read that whole next paragraph too. Like, this is the core of Perrin's experience right here. What had to be done? Perrin looked at the faces around him. Araganda scowling with hatred at him as much as the Shido now. Massima stinking of madness and filled with a scornful hate. You must be willing and able to hurt a stone. And I love that sentence because they're stone dogs.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, nice.
But he's also calling back to the phrase from the commonplace phrase from history. Adara, her face is unreadable as any Aes Sedai's, arms folded calmly beneath her breasts. Even Shido know how to embrace pain. It will take days, Sulin, the scar across her cheeks still pale on her leathery skin, her gaze level and her scent implacable.
Implacable.
Little as possible. Bear Elaine, smelling of judgment, a ruler who had sentenced men to death and never lost a night's sleep. What had to be done? Willing and able to hurt a stone, embrace pain. Oh, light, Fael. I mean, he just like fucking slams the axe down.
Yeah, but part of that was it'll take days, and so it seems that he's fine with the torture, and I guess we're fine with it too.
Well, it's other people's phrases. It's like this chapter is just other people's phrases and his own experience. I'm sorry, Krista, go ahead.
Oh no, you're fine. I was just laughing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Toby, thanks for swinging.
I do love how it's
Really?
like the combination of him validating his own experience with the people around him and these like historical phrases that he's heard, and like you see all this culmination of all these processes in his decision to swing the hammer right.
Yes. You also see everybody around him observe that nobody in a silk coat has ever done this kind of thing before.
Right.
So, like this level of person.
Ultra violence, yeah.
Yeah. Has never. Yeah. So there's like this huge crossover that seems really important.
So again, did Perrin break himself here, or did he become the man he's meant to be? Is this going to be good for his and Fael's relationship, or bad that he had to make this decision and act in this questionably ethical moment
That's a great question.
to do
Josh.
this
Answer
horrible, this war crime, basically, in order to rescue his wife?
Okay.
How
So
does that affect that?
if I was in that world with
Mhm.
Perrin, like face to face, I feel like if I was one of these characters, then I would be picking up on all of the pent up fucking anger that he already had. And
Mhm.
this is the like breakthrough, burst through who he maybe like wasn't necessarily supposed to be, but definitely is becoming because of like all the shit. And so, I don't know. It's just a very weird
Like just on a basic level, good or bad?
bad. And it's,
Bad for him. Do you think he's gonna turn out like worse off because of having done this?
I want to say no because I want something like this to be something that he triumphs from and out of and becomes like his actual like self from.
So you do think this is him growing, not being
He
broken?
wants him to grow up to be a good boy.
Yeah,
A really good boy.
good boy.
Well, he does get very reflective here. He goes, because he said hasty. He hears that from Aram that, yeah, they didn't really know. They didn't really know shit. They never saw Fael. They don't know. And so
But
he
she's
says,
really pretty, Dan.
he says, haste had almost lost him Fael completely, and he had been hasty again. Hasty, such a mild word for cutting off a man's hand, and to no purpose.
So yeah, I mean, like that's fucking powerful.
And do you think giving up the axe, throwing it into the tree,
Mhm.
is indicative of him having that moment of growth? Perhaps, Kate.
And again, there's been this axe hammer parallel, like back and forth for so long. He's now thrown away both of his tools. That's why I said, is he toolless now? Like,
Yeah.
or what does it mean that he's discarded both of his tools?
Well, so this axe thing could be like a symbol of his anger, and he's like left it now behind, right, for somebody else to find, discover, and experience in their own fucked up but very important way.
So in a way, this could be him becoming a leader. One metaphor of leaving behind the axe is, instead of being Perrin always wore on himself the need to fix the problem, but now he's become a leader, and he's about to go to the Shanshan and use other people to fix the problem rather than himself. He's thrown away both of the things that he used in the world to do something, right?
He's
Now
realizing,
he's going to use other people to do it. He's become a leader.
yes, exactly. Maybe he is his own like axe.
Right. He's become the axe and the hammer. He no longer needs either of them.
He doesn't need those, so it's like just symbolic. He's throwing it away. He's moving on. He's had a breakthrough, and here he goes into like his own thing, and he's able to somehow, in my opinion, circumvent the pattern and go after Fael instead of like doing what I think maybe the pattern wants him to do.
He's incisive and decisive suddenly.
Yeah, decisively.
I said,
I mean,
But then at the end, he's decisive, right? He says, "Oh, like there's all these references to taking help from the Dark One," and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll do that. Let's talk to the Shancha."
Well, anything. He's desperate, which is also not great because where does desperate?
Alan and him are both desperate at this point, right?
Yeah, which is not great. I'm a little concerned about that though.
Mm-hmm.
Desperation doesn't seem to bring anybody into a really great
state usually.
Yeah.
And what do we think of Telemore? Like just out there living in the wild, eating berries, I assume.
Right?
And picking up an army on the way.
Right.
One thing that we haven't talked about yet is Perrin's suspicion of that clerk secretary guy. Is it Belvoir?
Over.
Yeah, so he's like starting to think that this guy's a little loony. We as a reader already know his backstory. We know where he's been and what he's done, but Perrin doesn't understand all that yet.
Is this the one he thinks is feral in some way?
This is the guy that used to be a secretary to the Children of the Light. He's the one who knows that Queen Morghese is with the Shido, with Fail. And he's created his own spy network now within the camp. I mean, he's using Fael's followers to turn them into spies.
Well done,
Because
Carrie.
Fael
Yes.
was never doing that.
But
So,
I don't know. I just thought it was interesting.
Is there anything else about Perrin that we want to talk about?
Well, I have a quote. I have a quote from chapter 20. No, I have a quote from chapter 27. I think
Mine was a quote, guys. This is hold on.
Well, last week I thought I was gonna have to run the show, so I made notes. Look at that. Yeah, look at that chicken scratch.
yeah.
Perrin, people don't want that shit. All right, so here's the quote. I don't know who Anwa is. Help me out with this. Look at this. What is the name I'm writing? Anwa. What is that? Anwa? Like, I don't know what I'm trying to write here. But someone named Anwa is like, hey, you're a Taveran, yes, but still only a thread in the pattern, as am I. In the end, even the Dragon Reborn is just a thread to be woven in the pattern. Not even a Taveran thread chooses how it is to be woven.
Yes, I do remember actually that part. And that
what do you think about that? Man. Yeah, I should be more prepared.
I think we talked about this on another show. Josh was going off about all the threads and the patterns, and
Josh never
talking about.
But does he agree that even the Dragon Reborn is but a thread? So what does that mean when he's just like, yeah, fuck you, you're just a thread in the pattern? Is this again predeterminism? What does it mean to be a thread in the pattern?
That you're just replaceable. That you're not as unique as you think that you are.
Shit.
If that's the case, and this is a question I've been kind of tossing around in my head all show. Even if Perrin, this is again double questioning myself, even if Perrin isn't in line with the pattern, or maybe because he's not in line with the pattern, could it be that the pattern just adjusts itself anyhow to make the story get perpetuated? Like, there's no reason to think that the pattern is only a set path. It's a story that wants to be told. So maybe whatever they do, and does this mean that it's inevitable? And is that like, how does this fall into fate versus destiny, etc.?
Yeah, all of it.
My God, I'm so loving Josh's brain right now. And these books, so much fun with Josh.
There's a lot going on, even though there's not much happening in the chapters, there's a lot. But this is a good quote, Ryan. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for bringing this up. Go ahead, Carissa. I want to hear what you have to say.
No, you're just amazing.
Wait, can you help me remember who's Anura? Thank you, Anura.
Oh.
All right, not Anwa. Like, okay.
Like both N's upside down and made them a W.
Brother Dan, I have a special thing to show between, like maybe this chapter and the next chapter, or what do we think?
Yeah,
What's a good mid-show break? Everyone, Will takes.
The best.
We know them and love them.
Yes.
Love them.
All right, we're
Allie's the first time reader. Gus
Don't
is the
know who they
full
are.
series reader. They're like at the end of. Are they at the end of Night for Dreams or something? I can't remember where they are.
I don't know
but
where they
they're
are
pushing
specifically
along.
now, but this specific song is very, very relevant to what we're doing. We're finishing up Crossroads of Twilight. Let's show this video. Everyone, we're going to take a 5-minute break. Be back in 5.
This is so exciting. I love this.
I know. We don't do this
One
often.
of the best ever, though. Pay attention.
All right. Add the stage.
Ooh, roll the clip. Okay. I'm going to...
And where is...
Off
There
it.
you go. No, we're not doing hip-hop indie.
Turn off the other music, Ryan.
Damn it. Okay. It's been a while since it did this. All right, stop screen. We're going to present. And we're going to share a screen. Hello, what idol. Boom. Is it better?
The other music first, Ryan.
What? Oh, yes. Yeah, got it? Got that too?
If after all
All
the
right, no,
slog
starting
you
over.
made
Here we
me
go. Boom.
Hey.
The puppets are muted, anyways.
I do love that they have the hair blower in shot.
Yes,
that's
yes,
funny.
yes. Little comic touch. Yeah, they give us permission to show it that, and thank you, Will Takes, for doing that. We're gonna move into
Dun, dun,
the
dun.
next chapter once Brother Dan gets here. Look at that background. We can just let's focus on this amazing background. Brother Dan loves the Avett Brothers. They're a folk Christian. Hey, oh no, not the move. All right.
A cluster of rosebuds.
Let's get into
Yeah.
it.
The Christian folks.
It's all good. I'm fine. I love everyone.
Yeah.
I think everyone's foolish.
All right, let's move on. We have 3 more chapters. Let us do this. This is chapter 28. It is called A Cluster of Rosebuds. It has the dice as Yahtzee. Matt is on the road. E and Tuan and Salisha, they are with Val and Luca's grand traveling show, a magnificent display of marvels and wonders.
Do you think Sean the Gleeman was hired by Val and Luca at some point?
I hope so.
Welcome, Sean. Welcome,
Yeah,
Sean.
and I think that Valen was like, "You really got to put on this red dress. It's gonna look fantastic."
Oh, so yeah, Sean's saying his wife loves Crossroads. Yeah. This show has been like we're
Yeah. I love the writing. The story, man, is a little slow, but man, the writing is pretty fun. I like how he's doing shit.
I've been rereading Stranger in a Strange Land. It's really made me appreciate Robert Jordan's prose.
Yeah,
I love the story of Stranger in a Strange Land, but Robert Heinlein's writing can be a little rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah, that-
levels of like poetry, like RJ's better, and then George R. R. Martin better than on the top.
But look, just the name of Val and Luca's show,
Yeah,
which is Val and Luca's grand traveling show, a magnificent display of marvels and wonders.
yeah.
I like to talk about the size of his tent.
Yeah.
But look how Matt's like, oh, they'll never have a single big top.
Size.
No, he's got a huge phallic tent, but he also has a name that actually, if you think about it,
Did you all
everywhere they
notice
go-
how they reference the big top?
I
And they're
mean,
like, oh, and that's like, oh, that could never happen.
yeah, silly.
1/10
Wait.
for all of it?
what percentage of people, all these towns they go to, how many people could actually read the show, the sign? You know what I'm saying?
Ryan, is our poll still going?
I'm sure it is. I'm the worst. I'm the worst. All right, let's stop the poll. All right, good question though. Is rescuing fail part of the pattern? 73% said yes. So they think Perrin is on a pattern quest to rescue Fael.
Okay, wait. I was part of that percentage. So.
Oh no! Subterfuge.
Thing for the pattern to kidnap your wife so that you could.
You've been watching. Yeah, she's been watching too much fucking
best pattern
reality shows.
More like a ladder.
You asshole.
You asshole.
You.
Oh my! I hate walk. Okay, you.
God.
Far too many reality
Before
shows.
we go on, Carrie, your hair's calling to me.
Yeah, I got my hair done today.
I know, it's amazing. Yeah.
Look at that.
Nice.
That's
Like Nike swooshes at the end there. It's amazing.
Nike sushi.
I told my girl I wish I could take you away to the walk home, but she has to stay here.
She would go if you had like $1 million, bring her with you everywhere you go. That'd be amazing.
Oh
That's
God,
how they
I
do it.
wish.
oh,
Yeah.
you would. That would be so cute. You would love to do that.
So this is essentially a travel chapter. They're kind of traveling from town to town to a certain degree, not going very fast. Matt's a little bummed, but he's hiding in plain sight within this large menagerie that's going around. There Aes Sedai. There's 6. There's 3 Aes Sedai and 3 Soldam that are with them. That he's like, you gotta keep on the down low because the Shanshin can detect you. Same thing with he has Tuon and Solution. He's like, we gotta keep on the down low. These Shanshin are looking for you. I do have a couple Taishars here. One quote.
Go for it. One drum roll.
Right. All right. I have a Taishar here. Quote, delivered from her knees. Okay. Another one. Quote, her head lying on his lap, and he stroked her hair softly with his free hand.
Just once you said head lying on lap, I just
What's
Taishar.
his other hand doing, Brother Dan?
It was busy.
The truffle shuffle.
It wasn't free. So let's see. He is.
All right. Shout out to anyone who knew the reference truffle shuffle. Go on, Dan.
So Noel offers to just straight out kill Sarah. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Of course.
He's like, quote, are you sure it wouldn't be better just to make sure she can't talk to anyone? Just a suggestion, lad. If you say not, then not.
You want me to kill her, Dan? Dan, do you want me to kill her? I'll kill her. Just tell me. I'll take her out.
It's like Scrappy Doo.
Scrappy do, Scrappy don't.
You're right. Yeah. Put every dukes.
Choose one to come to you, Scrappy do, Scrappy don't.
All right. Can I get some props for Scrappy Doo in the chat? Everyone in chat. Hey, if you don't know, we offer memberships. Wait, let's make some money.
Hold on. After a Scrappy Doo reference, Scrappy Doo is going to be the worst character on earth.
No, once you bring a Scrappy Doo, go to the memberships.
Whoa.
No, people who relate to Scrappy Doo are more likely to promote or buy shit. So, like, look at Dan. I've done the numbers. I'm appealing to the subs.
No.
Not the DOMs.
Okay.
All right. Anyways, yeah, we have a Patreon. Let's talk about it. We have Patreon. We do YouTube memberships. So if you just want a phenomenal fee, you can help support the channel on a monthly basis. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. What are you like? Right? What? Yeah. That's how you should feel when you press.
Why not? I got $1. I got $2.
Yeah.
Come on.
So I've got a quote I want to know what the three, the terrible three, think about this quote?
Let's go.
On the third day after leaving the river, they reached the salt town of Durandor, and he told Tuon that he would. She smiled at him, and the dice in his head stopped dead.
Yeah, okay.
You would
What?
always remember that. She smiled, and then the dice stopped. A man could weep.
A man could weep. Yeah, like I ruined that in our intro, Dan. I tried to recreate that. Yeah, it fucked.
Oh,
I
that's
flipped it
the
around
last-
so it.
that's
You
at the
should
very
move your
end.
mouth when you talk, Dan.
How many of these sets of dice are connected to Tuon?
Wait,
A bunch of
Say,
them at this
say
point.
that, Ben?
How many of these sets of dice seem to be connected back to Tuon?
A bunch of
Yes.
them. 3 or
Yeah.
4.
Uh-huh. So we learned in this chapter that for Matt to say you're my wife 3 times, that's significant. But Tuan hasn't said it 3 times, right?
No, but she can anytime.
But he gave her a rose, like a rose blossom like brooch, and she got all pissed. And then later on, there she is wearing it.
No,
She didn't get pissed. She got pissed up front.
she got
But
pissed.
then he
when-
did this thing where he gave it because he gave her the necklace of the stripper.
But
like this is a horror.
That's what-
wait. He brought Stormy Daniels' necklace in.
Yeah, he brought Stormy Daniels' necklace in.
Jesus, what a
She
failure, man!
puts it on Eganon.
Yeah.
the piece
And
for
then gets mad at Matt. So Matt starts giving gifts to her.
Yeah,
To secure
and like
Trojan.
yeah, and she responds like unpredictably, right?
Kind of.
Was-
And then
yeah,
eventually
they-
he gives her the triple rosebud, and she keeps it and wears it. And he's offered to take her to get new dresses. That's what he's talking about here.
All
But
right,
we're
I think
left uncomfortably innocuous and unclear in order to make you think about marriage.
all right. Before we go on, JG, you look like you're in Dubai right there, or Vegas. I love it. You're great fucking profile picture. Yeah, smile, dice stop, time to run. God damn it, JG.
JG's living the life.
So we've talked about what the dice mean. I want to know, like, after these chapters, ladies, do you have a better idea about what the dice mean, or is it even just more confused?
I mean, I feel like it's a warning system. Like, if you're on track the way you need to go, the dice are going to be not rolling. But if something goes off course, then it's going to be rattling really bad.
Oh, warnings. Sorry.
What about you, Carissa?
I mean, it feels more like dark shit,
Dark shit.
dark patterny shit, dark side of things. Maybe it is a warning. Maybe it's like the dark one trying to redirect the pattern, through these little things, these trickery ways. It seems like that might be the thing for dice. For me, it seems like that's always like an element of duplicitousness. Duplicity. Yeah. Thanks, Doc. I figured it out. It's sort of.
So it's a little funny as a metaphor because typically when the dice stop rolling, it's the number you've rolled that's important. It's not that the dice stopped. So what does it mean as a metaphor? This is what I've been chewing on. For it just to be dice rolling and not the value on the dice.
Well, he himself said, like, oh, I guess I didn't play the game through enough because the dice was rolling further. Like, it was in the text in his own POV. He, like, was like, oh. All right, I'm sorry.
No,
Why am I answering the question?
I don't even know
My
what
bad.
you're talking to, Brian. But in my opinion, it has to do with, like, he's coming to a decision point in the pattern where it could go one way or another.
and
when he makes the decision, it doesn't really matter whether or not he made the right decision. The dice stop.
Oh shit! Okay, so irregardless.
So
Go ahead,
his,
man. Go on,
his
man.
would be like he's wait. So So Matt's initial like issue to solve would be that he can't make decisions, and then this is like just pushing him to make a decision regardless of what that
I think
decision.
he's just saying it's an important decision approaching.
Okay.
And he needs to make the one. He needs to make an important. Something is going to happen that causes a particular branch of the probability tree to be collapsed, right?
Okay, so Josh,
Yes.
you were saying how the dice roll and the dice stop, but it doesn't matter what is showing.
Right.
So, Chris, Kate and I,
Haha. I knew it, you bet.
if you're looking at it, does he need to make a decision? Well, it's almost like it doesn't matter what's on the dice. So yeah, so long as he makes a decision, maybe.
Right.
But then at the end of this chapter, Josh, he says the dice had started up in his head. That rattling feel of dice rolling across a table. They were going to come up the Dark One's eyes this time. He just knew it. So suddenly, what the dice come up
is important.
I mean, he's mentioned it before. I feel like in previous books, he's visualized what comes up. And if that's the case, the implication is that he's made the right decision, that he's made the decision that goes on the right path recently as the dice fell.
What I think?
Chuan hasn't turned on him yet.
Sorry.
He's like,
we got what? Yes! Holy shit! All right, let's get Jesus Christ, LBF. Let's super chat music. Dan, it's all you. It's your turn. Here's what you get.
Yeah, there we go. Dan.
You think that you are pretty cool? Well, you're not if you're not like blinded fool. He's the best that I've ever seen alive, and I've even seen him drive. Didn't see him drive for real.
Oh,
am I doing it again? Where's the other part? All right.
Yeah, try again. Yeah. Finish it up.
Right.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
We saw the lights in the sky. It was dark, but we don't know why. There was electric in the ions reflecting green and blue and cyan.
That might not be your best.
Woo!
But Jesus, yeah, good job though.
Yeah.
I don't know what I literally don't know what 5 gifted memberships mean. I don't know what that means. It sounds amazing. Maybe you can DM us. Dash is here.
I have a gifted member.
God, Dash is so hot.
Dash. Let me. Noel remembers. Oh, he's like, oh fuck! I just remembered. Fortunes ride like the sun on high, with the fox that makes the ravens fly. Luck his soul, the lightning his eye. He snatches the moon from out of the sky. It's like, oh yeah, that's part of the prophecy of the dragon, huh? I just remembered that. Okay, bye.
Matt's got the fox head medallion.
So there is a mention of a fox.
The moons is the daughter of the 9 moons.
We've got a moon.
Ravens is an allusion to the aliens, to
the sunshine.
The aliens?
Yeah. The Elfin.
I think it's something else. I think the ravens mean something else, but you have to find it in the glossary.
We'll get there. Fortunes ride like the sun on high.
All right. Hey, how do we get custom emojis? Let's talk about this. If you have custom mode, how do we do that?
Okay, yeah, we got it. We
all right,
got
jeez, all right, like,
yeah,
it should not rely on Noman Garden and tell me how to run my own channel. All right, thank you. I will look that shit up. Fuck. All right, so much.
I'm
so
curious.
Much,
I'm curious to learn more about the lightning his eye. Like, what does that mean? You know?
Right. Yes. Right. That sounds psychedelic.
Because we already know he's lucky, and we already know he has fortune. So that's the only part that doesn't really make sense.
Sun on high.
Is it the eye or the mind's eye?
Your pineal.
What does lightning have to do with Matt? Like lightning. I mean, we saw that from the Bowl of the Winds, right? Like.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. That's a mystery.
Like doesn't Thor's like hammer hold it? Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Why lightning? Where's Queso? Do I need to help her out? Let me go help her.
We also hear that Shara has a cool new name, and the women who can channel, they have cool new names, and they tattoo their faces. Guys, you thought that Post Malone? So Post Malone is the woman channeler.
Dan, that's fucking. Like that's so funny. All I've been doing is thinking about people I know with face tattoos, and there's so many. But like, yeah, you go to Post Malone, everyone knows that person.
Post Malone,
yeah, brilliant. You're fucking brilliant.
Thanks.
I think your new background is really helping you, Dan.
Oh, thanks. Except for my rap.
It's so pretty.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have even known you had a new background, honestly, because you've been so. I just bit my cheek. Well, honestly.
Oh shit.
I mean.
Anyways.
Okay.
Guys,
better.
You've been in hotels and like you've been traveling so much. I just.
Face reveal! Face reveal! That happened! First time on the Leafcast. Brother Dan fucked up and showed his face. He's a handsome motherfucker. I wish he was showing his face. Dan, do it again. Do it again. Be brave.
Yeah, your face is so gorgeous. We love your face.
No.
We love your face.
Wow.
It was.
I was like, there he is.
I know, right?
Fuck it, whatever. Jay loves this. JG.
I think we're watching.
You'll see me on Walk On.
Double. Your face double.
So Matt's playing, hanging out with Tuan. He gives her this necklace. She looks at it. She's like, "No, not my style. You want it, Salusa?" Salusa looks. She's like, "This is a whore. This is a freaking shade dancer. Just a harlot trinket." No, hey, Egg Gannon.
Further Dan, what other esoteric words can you find for those? Like a harlot, trumpet, like a lady of the night,
a bird.
A bird.
So they start shitting on Egg Gannon hard. They're like, "Hey, yeah, this is a piece for a shade dancer." They throw it at Egg Gannon. "Put it on," she says. It says Egg Gannon caught the thing just before it hit her face. She put it on. Turned, Salusa said, "Let me see." She's like, "All right." She came for a new name. What's her name? They're like, "Yeah, let's call her Leowyn Shipless." Fucking Leowyn Shipless, right? Again, it's just like, "Oh no, this is the worst." She's like, "Can I please go?" Matt's like, "Yeah, go ahead." She's like, "I wasn't talking to you." He kisses the ground. "Can I please fucking go?" They're like, "Yeah, I guess, yeah." It says, "You will not let me see your face again unless it is covered by a shade dancer's veil." And that's like, what the fuck?
What does that mean, actually? What do you guys? A shade dancer's veil? Okay,
that's the sexy dancers.
Thank you, Josh.
Yeah. Josh is a shade dancer.
I have a quick question.
Obviously.
Josh comes from a long line of shade dancers.
Yeah. Shade dancer.
A musician. Not shade dancer.
Where the name
and he's rejected every one of me. He wants to be a mathematician. He's like, "No, I don't want to use my
You-
hips for
Use the
gratification.
on the streets. Yeah.
Look, these hips are my own. Like, I want to do math, and they're like, no, you're a shade dancer, and he's like, it's the whole thing.
The whole thing. Yeah.
All right, Ben, what were you saying?
Ben's got a question.
Leowin. Where does that name come from? Do you know? Do you
Leywin's parents. Asked and answered.
That scared me shipless.
All right, what
Okay,
is the origin of that name?
Harry? I'm disappointed. Hey, I didn't expect you to get it. Don't worry. But
I forget. I can't remember where this was in the chapters.
so
Wait.
so she's called Leowin Shipless. There was
Well, I know shipless. Shipless is a reference to her not having a ship anymore, right?
Shipless. 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 Wow.
But I don't get the first part.
Dick.
Absolutely gold.
Big
There was
guy.
a young noblewoman that got abducted by Lauren Gelb in an earlier book who was sold
That killed the
shade
shit.
dancer.
When
And
the wolf.
her name was-
Wait. Cake.
Yes.
All right, so Ben, and it is popping up in this chapter, right?
That's why she's Leowin.
She's Leywin. Nice.
Because Leowin was a noble abducted by Florin Gelb in Tanchico and sent back. And so she took the name Leowin because it was a wrongful arrest. It was bad. She wasn't even a channeler. But she couldn't let anyone know she was kidnapping people, so she sent this woman off to servitude.
Right.
There's a nice poetic anyway.
Nice, then. Thank you.
Really just remember.
I don't remember it now.
It's so obscure. No one should know that.
Jesus, Josh, you're really disappointed then.
Shady dancer. Shady dancer. Never feeling lonely. Dash wrote that. I was just
Dash. I'm a big. I will pop up. I'm a pop. Yeah.
All right, speaking of Taishar, quote:
Let's go.
"The light only knew what they would do if Tuan started wiggling her fingers."
Jesus.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Christ.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Like,
he was horny that night.
we
Taishar.
can all imagine where we want that finger to be wiggled.
Yeah.
It's like
but again,
choose your own adventure, right, Dan?
Again, it throws that fucking necklace as far as she can go. And Matt's like, man, I could have bought some horse flesh. God damn it. There goes all my horse flesh money.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that was super tragic though, because I would have killed for a piece of jewelry like that.
But damn.
It ended up in two different hands, like lesser than like what it was weird. That was
Yeah, no, you're right. It was weird. And imagine like trying to give someone something, and that's what happens. Like, fuck you.
Yeah, they give it to somebody else, and then that person gives it to somebody else.
Yeah, so he plays like the total, like he's like, oh, okay, okay, weirdo. I'll be weird. I'll bring a paper flower, to Solutia. What do you think about that? I just psyched you. Psych. I'll bring another paper flower, another one. And then, like 5 days later, I'm going to bring a little bouquet, but I'm just going to put it right next to the board there. I'm just going to set it next to the board. We're just going to play stones. Pretend that's not there. I don't give a fuck. Do whatever you want.
but it was obvious enough for Matt to be like, oh, shit. It's a statement of intent. Do you think the rosebud, the cluster of roses like her, what is the significance of the chapter title? What was, cluster of roses, right?
Cluster of rosebuds.
Thank you. What? We lost Kay to the dog.
What?
Well, that's what. Yeah, I mean that is the gift, I guess. But the significance of it, Ryan.
Well, yeah, well, why was he laughing? And he's like, I don't know this woman at all. Like, and he's just like laughing hysterically. Like,
Okay,
let's talk about that.
I talked the laughing up to uncomfortability because he was just super traumatized by a very tyrant-y woman and terrified, and so he's just laughing, like he can't even take anything as like it's just uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable laughter. He's just like,
yeah. Do you like? Do you think the roses on her lapel is her like a statement? Like she knew Matt would see it, right? Like she was like baiting Matt. Like what does it mean for her to put that on her shoulder? What is she doing to Matt? Carrie.
She's acknowledging his gift and that she's allowing him to pursue her in some way. That's how I'm interpreting it. Yeah, I mean, this is where I got my Bridgerton side reference, is that it's such a subtle thing, but it's like a lot is happening here.
It's her acceptance of his offer.
Say again, Ben. I'm sorry. Start again, Ben.
It's her acceptance of his offer.
So it's like a tacit.
Right? He's trying to get her to, and he doesn't even realize it, what he's doing. But essentially, he's offering gifts of increasing value to her. Now, they end up going.
I think he's doing it intentionally. What makes you think that he's not aware that he's doing it?
No, he's doing it intentionally. He doesn't know why he's doing it until Egenin says to him, "You bloody fool." All she has to do is say she accepts your offer.
Right. 3 times.
Goes, what?
Hey, Ben, we're asking. We're asking the questions, not them. Ben, if he asks you a question, you tell him to sit on it, Potsy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's sneaky like that.
That's the way to leave. Yeah.
Well, what's wild is like the subtext is that even though Tuon is a prisoner, Eganin is accepting her dominion,
authority. Yeah.
Right? Like Eganin says, Eganin's hard face was shadowed, but her voice was haggard. The High Lady is who she is. Cilicia is her Sojan. No one of the low blood would dare.
I'm so sorry.
Eyes. Maybe not the high blood either. Clasp broke a metallic snap as she jerked the necklace free. But then I'm not of any blood now. So even though it happened under duress while Tuon was a prisoner, Eganin is deferring to her diminution. She's like, oh, I'm not of the blood anymore. So, and she's now probably taken on this name, whatever, Lilwyn. Lilwyn? What is it?
Lilwyn.
Lilwyn Nicholas.
So she's littler than she was before.
Well, so does Tuon know who Eganin is? Because Eganin was the mistress of the ships, right? And then met Doman, and then gave the stuff to Tuon.
Wasn't there that whole scene at the end of book? God, I don't know what the hell book it was.
Where and the bracelets.
We were getting ready to leave Abu Dar, and she knew that she was helping them, and she was going to be in big trouble.
She was promoted for her work in the Return. Tuon would know about her.
But Eganin also, so Bail Doman had the Quendalar disc.
Yep.
And he was given the male channeler Dom.
Yep.
And so where is that male channeler Dom? We can assume it's with Tuon at the moment?
Very, very good question.
So
It's with the St. James.
No, Ben, don't
This
answer
was
the
the
question.
Sean, yeah.
Ben, don't answer the question, please. Stop.
I didn't.
Okay, like he's like, yeah. Is it so? It's with the Sean Chan, not with obviously Tuan and Matt on the road. That's true.
Presumably.
I got it. Yeah. We're good.
Okay. Let's move on. All right. Cool.
later at the end, if we have more time, which is a super unimportant, very tangential question I have for Josh. Later. Let's
No, do it now. Do it now.
No, please do it now. Please.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
All right, let's do special music for super tangential question for Josh.
super tangential. Okay. Yeah?
Here you go.
Ready? Okay, good. Josh, do you think that the names of these people could be perhaps, I mean, is there any relevance, actually, is my question, to any of the names meaning anything like in a fucking Christ, I did not think this through. Like, of the way that, which is what I normally do with it. Okay, so the names. So like if you say, so Tuon, this is an example. You say like something is something Tuon somebody else. Perhaps, maybe that might be stuff. I don't think that's the thing. Anyway, I'm just asking if there is like a relevance in the names and the way they're used, and maybe they're this is super far-fetched, used in like a verb way,
Okay.
active way, instead of just a name.
I like that. Like, what are the names?
Let's all come back and say
What do the names encode, basically? And are they encoding something?
Yeah.
yes.
He seems very like introverted. There's lots of in things, lots of in processes. I feel like
it. Aggressive.
Yeah, you're onto something. Just like we'll figure. Let's figure it out together. Yeah.
so the Tucson feels like she's always doing something to somebody. Like there's always an element of heaviness upon. I don't know. Anyways, I just was curious if Josh like knew any sort of like relevance to any.
I don't, but I think that you're absolutely right. That there's a lot of weight. How he uses names is for certain important to him.
Because he's called Matt because people walk all over him.
Right? This is what I'm asking. I guess.
Well done.
Fun. Anyway.
My name is Matt. A simple name, an easy name. Tuan might as well have been porcelain
love
walnut
it.
truth for all the response she made. Yeah, there's a lot of naming in these chapters for sure.
She calls him Toy.
Boy. Mm-hmm.
Yes, the nicknames seem really relevant. You know, I mean, like that's obviously a very specific thing that we're supposed to feel.
Very
Physically.
Trumpian.
It's a oh, God.
Yeah, like Chuan's Trump, like nicknaming everybody. Yeah, you toy.
Yeah, but yeah.
Well, and it's also like the name that his dead ex-girlfriend gave him. I mean, not cool.
Oh,
Too soon, Brother Dan.
So they go on a shopping trip. They go
Yeah,
outside the
isn't
city
this
to,
fun?
like,
Isn't this fun? Going
cover up.
shopping
No,
for
it's
legs.
the worst. Girls just want to have fun moment. The worst montage. Shopping montages should be like have, you know, Cyndi Lauper playing in the background. This one has just like dirge, like.
Well, I mean, again, this is referencing back to his capture and him being the toy of Thailand, right?
Yeah.
And now Tuan is ostensibly his prisoner.
Mhm.
But and they're playing these games very literally. They're playing the game of stones.
Yes, and Oliver is included in this game, which I always thought that he was a little spy fuckery of some sort, and it feels more and more like he's constantly always in a game of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Okay, go on with that.
There's a lot of metaphor here about that for sure, Carissa.
Yeah.
They're like in this back and forth, and Matt can see that he's being moved on the board without his knowledge, right?
Yes. I don't think he's aware that he's a spy, but he's absolutely giving information somehow, and it feels.
Who's in control here, Matt or Tuon?
Or
Matt
over.
wonders that.
I don't think either one of them is actually like completely in control of this situation.
But Tuon doesn't appear to be the one who's under Matt's thumb, is I guess my point.
Matt actually says
Yeah.
at the end of the chapter,
Mm-hmm.
a woman who spun his head like a top and left him wondering whether he held her captive or she held him.
Captive.
When
Yeah.
fate gripped you by the throat, there was nothing to do but grin.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right, guys, real quick. This is actually kind of crazy important. All right, so Light Blinded Fool says, "Hey, G&G, Tuon named Aegon Llewellyn, and Aegon accepted it."
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh.
and she was already using the name Llewellyn from chapter 1. All right, yeah. So, and then Nomagar says, "Wait, you're saying she used your alias, and then Tuon picked up on it and used it as a conjunction with Shivless to shame her?" Yep.
Okay, so as we've heard every dark one, or Forsaken, like call another person when they call these people. I have slime all over me. Maybe they're like calling to them through some sort of telekinesis, or like through the dream world situation, something of that sort.
Yeah, how's it happening? Yeah.
Something unconsciously conscious.
We still don't know how the Dark One like rallies his minions. We've seen evidence of like people coming in and be like, "I've talked for the Dark One," but we don't really know how he communicates. So yeah, good job.
Yeah. We know something to go to Shire Ghoul.
It's never the Dark One like in presence, in physical presence. It feels like, at least that we know of. So like there is a communication of sorts that's happening, and this is something we haven't even really like talked about a lot, and that feels weird because this is all happening throughout all of these books, but they're not actually like talking about it. There's nothing that's it's all for your assumption to like assume how these people are. How is the dark? This is such a power. This is the other half of the whole fucking thing. Is this?
I completely agree with Quesadilla, even though I can't hear.
Yeah, something happened with your volume right then.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I tried to like do something and we lost her. Can we hear you? I
Me
did
and you
it.
right now.
Can you start talking?
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh my.
Yeah, turn off echo cancellation.
and
we
should be good.
Fuck. Okay. Turn off what?
I know.
I don't know what happened.
Well, you're
echoing bad.
I'm
I'm
so
so
imagine me and you and me. All right,
I'm not helping.
I have cancellation on.
all right, we're good.
all right.
All right.
Carry on, brother Dan. That's it.
Which one am I supposed to have? Am I supposed to have echo on or off?
Off.
The cancellation echo?
Echo cancel. Yeah, I did it for you. Yeah, we're good.
Hi, Carrie. How you go?
All right. Are we all right? Okay. So they go into a town called Jorador, whatever. It's a prosperous salt mine town, as we all know. Salt mine towns are the amongst the most prosperous. I remember Chicago back when it was a booming salt mine town. That's when gangs showed up. That's when Al Capone, he took over all the salt. And they're going to go shopping. It turns out that the girls almost max out Matt's credit card. But that's cool. That's cool. He wants them to look nice. He wants them pretty. I do have a couple Tyshars. Ready? Quote. Rich or poor, the fellows did have a tendency to fondle.
Don't.
Yes,
All right.
they. Yes.
All right, and the second one. Okay, I'll wait till that's all right. Quote. They would go back to murmuring and fingering.
Yes, they would.
Yeah.
Wouldn't they? Why would they?
Who's they? I mean,
I don't
Alright.
know.
be all they.
And
All good questions.
uncertain at this point. This is so confusing.
Dice are bouncing. Dice are bouncing. He's like, what? No. We hear that Tom is freaking getting very obsessed with this letter. Like, it seems like all night he's just reading this letter, burning a lamp, quote, burning a lamp so he could read and reread his precious letter. It'd be so fascinating, a letter from a dead woman.
And we know that's the letter from Moiraine.
Yep.
He loses sight of.
Wait. K. What does that mean, K?
Just Josh. Wait, what? How did you know that was from Maureen? Where? What? That was so long ago.
It was, yes, it was a long one.
Your recall is so crazy.
It was a long time ago, but it's important. I mean, we've known he's had this letter from her.
To pop up, like, it's good. It's important.
So maybe him rereading it means she's about to come back?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe we're getting closer to the moment that the thing she describes, right? Because she went through
He went
Ruidian.
through the twisted doorway with Lanfear.
But before that, she went through Ruidian.
Yep.
She's
Yes.
And so
Yeah.
she sees her own future. And that's when she wrote the letter to Matt.
fuck yes.
Yeah.
Or to Tom, excuse me. Not
Yeah,
to
and that's why she's like one of the most.
Why it's the wheel of time. The time aspect is super fucking important
Yes.
in these books, and it is not consecutive. Like there's not
Linear, necessarily.
What is that word I'm looking for?
Non-linear, like Ben said.
They're
Yeah.
not, but I know, but they're also not
Sequential.
spinning in the same cycle as the other one is spinning, so it's not, the time doesn't match ever.
Oh shit. Okay.
Does
Like
make
Our wheels,
Like a gyroscope that won't stop.
no, like the wheels. If you ever looked at the inside of a watch before, and you see the wheels that affect the other wheel, and then the other wheel in the middle affects the other wheel,
Yes.
and they all have to work together to make the whole fucking clock happen and make time. So that's important, I think, in this, because it is the way the internal, like, actual physical maneuvering of a clock might work. It might just be just that, and that could explain so much, right? Like if time is just different and moves differently.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
So yeah, Kay, you've hit on something there, because these chapters from Matt go back to the first night they left Ebudar, which we know was right back, yeah? Because that's when he started taking the first flowers. So all of that is cast back, flashback.
Yes. So what is that?
So right about there being timey-wimey stuff going on.
Yeah.
It is written that way, but, and the point is, and this is this book, it ends up with Matt buying Tuon a whole heap of nice dresses, because that's a sign that you're serious about your intention of marriage in Chinese, Japanese, in a whole heap of cultures.
Tons of culture. right. That is the sign that you.
Yeah.
But wait, what does that mean? What would that mean for Matt in internal? I was gonna say Ben, because I just looked at you. Anyway, so what does that mean for Ben internally then when he's discovering this from Matt? I'm kidding.
Ben's very conflicted and loving it. Oh no, sorry.
Ben will only buy dresses for himself.
Right? I mean, he's so pretty though.
You're right. Like, why would he buy a dress for a woman? Like, buy your own dress. All right, yeah. So
Me and brother Ben both wore dresses. Just saying.
Okay, so, yeah, Matt timelines. Matt buying something for. Wait, what? You think what? What was the point? Sorry.
You were saying about time being a bit iffy, like what's going on.
Distorted.
I point out that it goes back and comes forward, but Matt is increasingly buying more expensive stuff to impress the girl that he's. I don't know.
He wins
He's keen on her. Saying.
with his dice.
all right, so let's talk about. Do you think Matt is like into Tuon?
I do.
Are we talking like self-fulfilling prophecy thing?
I'm gonna go fully on feeling here in this entire whole last piece because that's how I feel about it. It's like it feels very intuitive and not like about as much. I don't know. It feels very. It's hard.
There you go.
So are we
Thanks
saying
for
that she's not a gold digger, but she doesn't want to be with no broke fella?
That's exactly, I think, the
Are you
lyric.
saying Matt wants a lady in the streets with a freaking sheets?
Carrie, you want to say anything?
I mean, Matt is basically creating his own arranged marriage, but I don't think the love is fully there yet. I think it's starting to blossom, but it's not like fully at full capacity yet.
On his part or her part?
Probably on both. I mean, I feel like they're playing this weird, wicked game,
Fair
and
enough.
it's like
Fair enough.
I don't know.
It does seem very. I think you're right in the way that like everything with Matt kind of seems very gamey.
It's like
Not
forced. It's
in a weird way, but gamey in a gamey way. Luckish way. You get
I
it.
want to read this paragraph of Matt's
Yeah,
perspective here. Matt laughed and shrugged his shoulders, feeling the knife hanging behind his neck. A good knife gave a man a feeling of comfort. But his laugh was hoarse. But she didn't say anything. He had bloody well been stuffing a gag in her mouth at the time.
Oh,
So whatever I said, it doesn't mean anything. But he knew what Gannon was going to say. Sure as water was wet, he knew he had been told who he was going to marry.
Yeah.
Remember who the last woman was who he stuffed a gag in her mouth too, right before she was killed by the fucking
yeah.
Up down,
Graham,
girl.
whatever
grown.
the Golem, whatever shapeshifter thing, the evil shapeshifter thing, right? Was
Yeah.
Tuon, right? Was,
Yeah. Not to be
Highland.
presumptive. Well,
Yeah.
is it relative to the end of the chapter where he says that's 3, no more?
Yeah, 3 women.
What is he referencing? Is that 3?
3 women that he's responsible for their deaths.
Yep.
All right. What's your favorite death?
Well, this whole thing about the game between Eganet, Tuon and Matt, and like who's the captor of whom, and the uncertainty around like the wedding and his own, like obviously this is the pattern in full effect, right? Matt's getting dragged along by the story. He's unconsciously doing things, as Ben's been saying, of like creating these flowers and giving increasingly more valuable gifts, manipulating Tuon into like falling in love with him.
Manipulating Tuon. You think Tuon's like
Tuon's also manipulating him, right?
Well, can you manipulate Tuon?
Or has she been in control the entire time? And he's just now realizing it. I mean, kind of like how Tylan was in control. So what is the parallel we're meant to draw as readers between Tylan and Tuon?
They both start with
Tuon,
T.
like Tylan, calls him toy. Tuon, like Tylan, has him under her control.
Oh my god, Josh. I thought they were the same fucking person this whole time.
Okay. Yes.
I'm so confused. I get so confused. Oh my god. Are you serious?
Tylan's the one who tortured Matt, right? And so there's this weird role reversal where now he has a prisoner who he's marrying, who is actually, he's their prisoner in a sense. It's just so fucked up. There's so many
So to be so
going on.
But what about his relationship with the Aes Sedai then? Because who's prisoner of who there, and who's because that's
I want to hear what Carrie was going to
what's involved.
Hold on, I really want to hear. Carrie, did you have something to say about that?
Well, I wanted to talk about how wasn't Aegianan the one who was lecturing Matt on Sanchan culture and how
Yes.
a high lady of noble birth would never marry somebody of your stature? So it's like, so what does that mean to Tuon? Like, is she just playing him for a fool, or is she actually thinking about marrying the guy?
Right, and Tuon had kept the veil on in opposition to her Sojan's warnings. There's all these layers of shit that we just, the next time, if and when we read these books again, hopefully we'll understand more about what's going on right here. But it's really hard to know, like, who's who, right? Like,
it's like
is he
watching.
canon? Is the Sojan of Tuon, like, who's manipulating whom? Who's pawn? Is
Why
this
are
all part of the pattern?
Why are there so similar that I could not even fucking tell the difference between one T name to the other throughout them calling him toy and the way that they behave with him? What is that? We
know how we felt about how Tylan treated him? How do we feel about how Tuon's treating him?
Tylan didn't call him toy. Other people called him Tylan's toy.
No, Tylan called him toy.
Yeah.
He also called him my chickadee, my bird,
and other things too.
Maybe
Yeah.
You're right. Maybe only
My limp
Tuon has called him toy because Tylan referred to him as her toy.
a sloppy popsicle.
So I think it really does actually Superfly's situation where he says gamer's gonna game. Honestly, that means a lot. That means a lot because it's what we were talking about with the dice. Like,
right.
And the die like just being either like one way or the other, or maybe it's just completely manipulative in all the ways.
So Tuon asks him, so what are you? And he says, I'm a gambler. And her reply is, my father was a gambler. He died from making a bad bet.
Right.
I hate my father.
Yeah.
And to put the father in the position of the then like possible love interest type situation is like really psychologically great and fabulous in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I thought that was a clever kind of exchange between them where Matt tried to be all da 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 and she just went smack.
Yeah. Well, you're a like father figure.
Well, there's all these power dynamics in these chapters, even to the point with this chapter where they're buying the fabric and like Matt ends up carrying the fabric back, but then it ends up on her Sojan's back. I mean, these are some of the best chapters. I get that this is the slog, but these chapters are incredibly complicated.
I'm glad you said that, Josh.
Like, there's a lot going on, even though it's amorphous and like you don't know what's going on. That's the point, right?
Yeah,
we're left in this mash of uncertainty at the end of all this. It's masterful.
Yeah. Right.
Well said, Josh. Yeah, and I think these later chapters are just a little more like fun to read and
normally we get the battle right now. There's a
Yeah.
battle. So metaphorically, there's a battle going on amongst these characters. It's just, it's not swords and blood spurting out. It's like them playing games of stones and like manipulating one another psychologically, right?
And again, so what is the movie that we just fucking referenced 2 seconds ago that I'm at? The Princess Bride.
Midnight Train to Tokyo?
Princess Bride.
Princess Bride.
Battle of Wits. That's all. Feels like
Yeah, but
different type of battle.
Perrin is also in a battle for control of his things. He's cast off Masama's man. He's acted decisively, and he's found his army. Like, there's stuff going on in a winning the hearts and minds. Yeah, and Matt and Tuan, they're trying to win each other's hearts and minds. She's trying to co-opt him. He's trying to co-opt her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really winning.
No.
All right, so
these are battles, even though they're not swords hitting each other. They are battles within the scheme of the
Battle of the Pen. I'm sorry. I'm kidding. I just was holding.
Yes.
The pen is mightier
The
than
Battle of
the
the
sword.
Vape Pen.
The pen is mightier than the sword.
all right. So what was the question, Ben?
No, I was agreeing with something Josh said about there being battles going on, but metaphorical battles instead of physical ones.
Okay, right on. So we got Matt
One and Matt are battling it out on the field of marriage. And then we have Perrin and the Shanshan about to like battling it out on the field of becoming allies.
Yes.
We've got Masama and fucking Aram like joining forces.
She was just what? Yeah.
Then we get like Bail Doman and we get Egwin. Like there's just so much that happens here at the end.
Egwin is warning against the sunshine. So while the
Right.
other two are making
let's hold off on
God.
that. That's a separate chapter.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, but in the
Let's
scheme of
try to
things-
stay.
Where are we? Are we at 29? I mean, like
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to keep moving here.
We're in
God.
some figures. Yeah, so they're back from the place and they find that Egyanin has been stabbed. They're like, oh shit, but he's barely alive, gets healed. Turns out it was Rena. Rena has taken off, stole a horse, beaten that horse to death, almost gets to it, gets killed.
I never liked Renner.
Quote, Rena was always ready to lick my bloody wrist.
Yes.
God,
That's the vampiric.
Nope.
Ryan, lick my bloody wrist, would you?
That's yeah. Well, pet it first, bitch.
But it's Rena through Egyanin that we learn that, or at least Tuon learns that people that can train Damane can channel.
Dun, dun, dun.
My bloody wife is going to be a channeler. Groan.
And doesn't Tuon realize, like, when it comes out that the Suldam can channel, everyone realizes that Tuon is able to channel at a low level because she trains Suldam?
Yeah,
I think it was maybe a hidden secret. But
Yeah.
she said the quiet part out loud here.
Yeah.
well, I think she responds with, yes, I could, but I choose not to. Yeah, I could channel, but even if I could, I wouldn't do it. That's why I must, yeah. It's pretty convoluted.
It's very fucking convoluted.
Yeah. They find Rena, they kill her. There's a couple tie shards here real fast. Quote, Rena was always ready to lick my. Oh, is that? No, this one. Quote, getting close now, the fat man muttered.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay.
Also,
We also get where Tuon says, quote, I forbid you to mourn a traitor. She earned death by betraying the Empire, and she would have betrayed you as easily. She was trying to betray you. What you did was justice, and I name it so.
I love that.
I
want that tattooed on my fucking.
Has never known nothing. This is
I
this
wanna-
is like Kim Jong Un.
This is her ruling from imprisonment. It's like, so we know that Tuon and Seleucia were both watching for signs and symbols, right?
Yeah. Portent.
So what portent led them here? Because they sure act like they knew they were going to be here. Do they not? Like, doesn't
they do.
Tuon seem like they knew they would be here?
Yes, they do. They do. Thank you for saying that. I feel like I couldn't exactly put my finger on it and like make it come into like a words.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what it felt like. They knew. But people have known all along that they were going to end up. Cad Swain always knows where she's going.
What
is going to happen. It feels like Cad Swain kind of always knows, like,
what's going to happen?
Like what kind of situation she's going into, and she's always prepared on this level that people just aren't. But you're right though, there's other references that feel very
Tuon sees portents on the boat coming over.
She does, yeah.
Tuon sees all these signs and things that tell her to stay the course or to.
And remember, she's always watching Matt weirdly in the castle. Remember?
It's like, so Matt
always next to him, always looking at him. So she knew something was coming.
Mm-hmm. And didn't he say that? Didn't these characters say those exact words sometimes in their own? It's like they knew something was coming.
Didn't she ask if he knew what Hawking looked like?
Once, anyway. Sorry.
Say that again, Ben.
Didn't she ask what Hawkwing looked like?
Hawkwing looked like, yeah.
Like,
he asked them some weird questions for sure.
Right?
So it would imply that like these timelines just don't match up.
Or that she knows that he's a part of the dragon prophecy and that she is as well. And she's moving into her role. Right?
Do you think they have their own prophecy, like the Aiel have their own prophecy and the Sea Folk have their own prophecy and all the other people have their own prophecy? Is it just possible that the Sentient have their own prophecy?
Sure. I think we know that they do. We know the Helene, or whatever it's called from the glossary, them coming over, is a part of their prophecy, right?
And it's like what?
The return.
It's kind of the dragon prophecies?
Kind of, but without the Dragon Reborn. It's about them returning to Arthur Hawkwing's lands and reclaiming what is theirs.
So in their version of the dragon prophecy, the dragon's not mentioned.
Right. They are the perpetrators of truth. Okay, I want to hear what you have to say.
I'm just curious as to who Min might be in this prophecy situation. If each culture type situation has a different prophecy vision of sorts, or that can be shifted. Who is Min? What does Min represent?
Really good question.
Like, because she's
next to Rand, and we know Rand. We postulate Rand is the piece of sand in the oyster that makes the pearl of this being a unique turning of the wheel. Maybe Min needs to be next to Rand in order for Rand to fulfill his mission as the unique character.
Yeah, No, I like that. I mean, it makes a lot of sense because this has been the constant, right? That Min is constantly right. That Min is constantly helping Rand in a way, and always there by his side, or like right there.
She's always reading history from Master Fell's library too.
Yes.
Yeah. To your guys' point, it does seem that Matt has accepted his fate. He's like, oh shit, yeah, I didn't know that, but it figures that I did my part to make my wife. That sucks. He says here, quote, Matt grinned. The question is, does she mean to marry me? The strangest people marry sometimes. And so I guess that's a question that we're asking: is if, is she choosing him? But anyways, is there anything else before we get to the final chapter? That I want to finish this book.
The final chapter. Yeah.
It's chapter 30, what the Oath Rod can do. And we have an Egwene point of view.
Which
she
is
is
obligation.
So much in something like we could spend like an entire show on just something flickers. I feel like
Yes. Sure.
Mhm.
there's so much that happens in this chapter. What is it that's flickering?
This is
Yeah.
This is
Sorry.
This is where Matt sees the ghosts walking down the street and everything flickers, and Tuon and Seleucia do not seem to see it. What does that even fucking mean?
You're right.
Are they memories or are they ghosts? Like, why complicate it, Robert Jordan? Fuck.
Well, and the two people that saw the ghost or the man walk through the wall, was it visible to everyone and they just weren't looking?
Right, or was it visible to just those two, and why?
Mm-hmm.
Is it the same thing even? Are all of the ghost things the same thing, or are they different things? We have no reason to believe that one isn't the ways bleeding through and the other is the great Lord, and this one is fucking,
Wait, what bleeding through? Like, what would that be a reference to in our
I don't know,
world?
my theory about the ways bleeding through to the regular world and the time dilation being the thing that's causing the ghosts to appear.
Sense though, the time dilation feels real. Like that makes
It's
sense.
still not happening.
Of like overlapping kind of thing. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like what if we know the ways are degrading? What if the universe starts degrading in the same way? We saw in the town, we still don't know why the weevils are everywhere. We know it's not just in the town where they hoarded the grain. We know it's not just punishment from God, because Egwene talks about the weevils in her oatmeal in the following chapter, right?
Yeah.
So
Weevils.
we can assume that it's because of more darkness entering the world, right? If the Great Lord is out of his prison, presumably there's more death and destruction in the world. Weevils where you wouldn't expect them is a great symbol for that, right?
Mhm.
Weevils in the cold, whatever,
Yeah, I see that. I get that. That does feel like it makes sense to me. Like it could, yes, it could be the ways like decay bleeding into the. I know you've said this before, but I'm only just wrapping my head around it. So sorry, forgive me.
No, I love when you validate my points.
It's just like it's so always such a like deep thought. I can never fully respond to it like in the moment. So I feel like we always come back to it though at some point, which is fun too. But it's just, yeah, that's fascinating. And I do feel like that could totally be exactly what's happening. That seems to be the only answer for like everything being able to be present or seen or even experienced in these weird layers of this world. And they are layers. This is a layered situation. It doesn't feel like this could ever happen in a simultaneous timeline. That will fuck me up to the nth degree. And great, Robert Jordan, if you've done that. But I hope not.
So let's jump to this last chapter. It's called "What the Oath Rod Can Do." It has the
What do we
waves.
make of, like the silk merchants not selling real silk too? Like
What is that? How do you even have
They
like
all
synthetic
give lady the side eye because she's not selling real silk.
silk? How did? Okay. Well, that feels weird.
Then Matt ends up carrying in the bundle. He trades it to the Sojin as they find out that Iganon's been stabbed. So the woman who stabbed her is one of the Aes Sedai who was a...
No, he's one of the Suldam.
Right? So Iganon knows that the secret... Iganon knows the forbidden secret that all of the Suldam can channel.
And Rena is one of the Suldam who knows the filthy secret herself.
Because she was calling.
So she attempts to kill Iganon so that the secret doesn't get out, or maybe because she saw Iganon with Tuon.
Because Ganon would have stopped her from fleeing.
Right.
It's an interesting.
And then Matt catches and kills her, and that's the third body, right? The third man on his conscience.
So it's just a quick question. If we all agree that, like, collaring women and keeping them like as the Mane is bad, and I think we all agree that, is it wrong to keep a Suldam against her will in a circus? I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just not the same mechanism.
Say that again, Ben?
Yeah.
If we agree...
Yeah, that keeping Suldam, the Suldam keeping Damane on the leash is a bad thing.
The bad thing. These Suldam that have been captured by Matt are being kept in a way against their will. Obviously, she tried to flee and was killed for it.
Right.
In much the same way as the Mane are kept against their will.
Yes, absolutely. Correct.
And this is something Flickers, I think.
And this is the payback.
Yeah, this is the last chapter. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is interesting, like, and they hate, in theory, Suldam despise the Damane for their ability to channel.
Yeah.
Right? So finding out that they themselves, the only reason they can be Suldam is that they themselves can channel, must be an earth-shattering awareness. But Tuan takes it in step.
Yep.
Like almost as if she expected it. Which maybe isn't surprising given that she's high blood. Maybe the high bloods know this and have kept it secret from the lesser blooded in order to perpetuate the myth.
You're
now,
suggesting it not such a revelation to her.
Right. Not such a revelation to her. And how do we feel about that? I mean, how different if the 3 oaths cause women who can channel to die sooner? How different are the 3 oaths from the collar? We know the White Tower is designed to keep women who can channel in line, and that the kin were left alone by the Aes Sedai to be the place where runaways, from the glossary, we know this, right, Carrie, that the kin were left alone on purpose by the Aes Sedai.
The glossary.
You didn't read the glossary?
What? No, I never read the.
We talked about that we were going to talk about the glossary on the show.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Well, it did have some interesting about.
No, I'm so
the kin were left alone by the Aes Sedai on purpose and used as a tool to capture runaways and women, but they still didn't know how powerful they were. So I guess my point is the White Tower is also a mechanism of control, to go with your question, Ben, in the same way that Matt is keeping the Suldam hostage. So were the kin and the 3 oaths mechanisms for keeping hostage women who could channel as well, in a sense. They're all different mechanisms, but they're all mechanisms of control and keeping the one. And again, we talked about this. Like, if male channelers couldn't be trusted, there had to be ways that culture decided to control female channelers so that they too couldn't break the world again. And that's why the 3Os were created in theory. That's been my theory all along, right? That the Aes Sedai are a construct of civilization trying to control female channelers so that the breaking of the world wouldn't happen again.
I would posit that you're almost right there, Josh.
Yeah.
I would say that it's Aes Sedai trying to make sure that Aes Sedai aren't going to
Right.
break the world
Right.
again.
There's a self-referential mechanism there too. Yeah.
Small thing, that's why I mention it.
I hear you.
And through this, like, oh my gosh. Well, this introspection just becomes like fuckery on the 10th degree. Sorry, I have to get the puppies. I'll be right back.
Okay, and I want to move on. This has been a long show already, and we still have another chapter. So
Yes, Dan, but we were just talking about stuff that happened in this chapter.
right, but
Yeah,
I'd like to move on.
With it.
Yeah, I'm tired, man. That's all. It's like 1:20. I just want to, yeah. Let's do chapter 30. So it's Egwene. Egwene is still besieging. They're having negotiations at the foot of the bridge. Apparently not going very well. But she's got a plan. But we hear that another blue sister has been killed with a Sidene. There's a second blue sister. And everyone is fucking freaked out. They're glowing with Sidar, just walking around. They're walking in pairs. No one wants to get killed here.
I love how I got proven wrong about sickness in this chapter. I'll own being proven wrong.
As far as that fever,
I said last show that we didn't see disease amongst the common people. It minded her of the time spotted fever had struck Edmund's Field, and everyone walked around clutching brandy handkerchiefs to their noses.
Yeah, 11 people died, and everyone was just using. So this guy Doral Barman was the wisdom there. She was pretty much like the Fauci. She's like, mask up, people. Dip it in bourbon and mask up. Or brandy, or whatever.
The smell of brandy still.
Yeah, still
Reminds me of COVID.
So she she has meetings with Ramonda. She has meetings with Leland.
There was a lot of meetings. It felt like lots of meetings.
Lots of meetings. Just
like the most antithetical chapter after the Tuon and Nat chapter and the Parent chapter.
I know, it was.
Really?
Why was this the last chapter? It was so out of place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, there's a moment in it when she realizes something that changes the rest of the chapter.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. It's where she gets that report and the dates are wrong. Or the dates show that it took place before 3 to 4 days before it happened. Like, they gave her the report late.
Oh, with Nicola running away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that, and there's also Ramonda had sent 2 sisters to travel to Kyrian and investigate some tale that has the Yellow Sisters buzzing. There's some mention in Nynaeve, but they don't know what it is.
Oh, right.
Any theories?
Maybe they know she was at the book, or she was at the end of book 9 doing something cool. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, is that it? That they think that? Why is it just
that she healed Swan of?
Oh yeah, and she also healed Logain.
She healed Logain. Mm-hmm.
That was earlier.
It was, yeah.
Has other things
Cleansing the taint is another thing she's done recently, right?
I mean, yeah, her hands were just right there, right? Like, so that was. That feels like the most important thing she's recently done.
It does.
Like, that she's been super powerful and she's just like gone beyond her own knowledge of her own powers and done some really crazy shit. And she's impacted the entire world, it feels like, through this book. There was an entire book written after that event to highlight the importance of that event. It just feels like that's really important as far as Nynaeve's story goes.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a quote for Josh, because I know that Josh loves nautical quotes to do with Suan. Suan was not on edge. She had weathered storms and managed to recover from drowning, some might say. Today was only a little windy to her.
Nice.
Like anytime Suan's discussed, there's a nautical boat reference going on. Something
Absolutely, yeah.
Or I just wanted to give him a shout out for that.
Right, and this is actually even through Egwin's point of view, and it still has this.
Gee, yeah, no, it's spread, yeah.
But Sheriam walks in. Last we had seen Sheriam, she was having a conniption. Remember, she was like shaking on the floor. She was barfing, I think. I mean, she did not like hearing the news.
Yeah, just typical ayahuasca trip. One out of every 5
She's
people.
back. I mean, she's back, and things are great as gravy.
Yeah, you know what? Like, chances are you go visit Joe Rogan, you're gonna be puking in a bucket.
You're gonna get some elk meat to take home.
Yeah, frozen elk meat, ayahuasca,
Some
trip,
bulletproof coffee,
alpha brain.
Let's
go.
Neutronics. Egwin is in a funny little dilemma because she's like, hey, I have a foretelling. The Shanshin are going to attack the White Tower, and everyone's like, yeah, that's probably not a real dream. I mean, if that was going to happen, I mean, they're way over there, and shit, we'd see them a mile away. So there's no way they're going to sneak up. Boy, yeah, that's fun, Egwin, but yeah, we're not going to take precautions. We're not going to do shit. No one believes her. No. Guys, you imagine having being like, I dreamt it, and they're like, what are we? One of those Targaryens that moves our entire family to an island?
Yeah.
Wrong book.
No, but I like the reference.
Yeah,
it's kind of odd that someone's so bitten by foretelling, and then no one believes them.
Right.
Okay, we learned that Anaya believed in her ability to foretell and had a reputation for arcane knowledge. So I think that's significant. Was she killed died because she knew something?
Yeah.
Yeah, but she died, right?
Yeah,
she died.
And the other one...
She was killed by a male channeler.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And the other one was good at turning metal into Calendar.
Quindlar, yeah.
Okay.
Which was giving the rebels money.
Rebels,
yeah, like a black market,
right?
So
They're
much
black
money.
market selling Quindlar.
I'm imagining Egwin on a screen, and she's like,
So remember, Halima is a dark friend, if not a Forsaken, and she's intimately involved with Egwin. So it's not a surprise that the forces of the dark know what's going on and they're able to fuck with them.
Yeah.
But is that why they're making Quendia?
Why they're making it is to get money.
So
they're selling drugs. Basically, they're drug dealers, but they're making fake Quindlar.
All right, so here's a random question. So Halima's in the camp. She's massaging Egwin all the time. Obvious dark friend. There are no weevils. What is the difference between the idea that this one town we just visited had weevils?
I think this is a past point of view. If we were contemporary, there would be weevils. in the oatmeal.
Oh,
okay.
do you think everywhere Halima goes in like a radius around her are weevils?
No. Halima?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, is it everyone who's like really like connected to the Dark One produces
there's
evil?
there's no indication that anyone was connected to the Dark One in Sohaber. This just could be further back in time, right? We know the books aren't linear.
Uh-huh.
We could be seeing Egwin a week before the Dark One's left his prison, and the Weevils are everywhere, right?
Okay.
There's no indication that this is happening after. We know that it's non-linear because this book started before the end of the last book.
Yeah, but like, are we talking non-age? Like, are we talking like not in this age?
No, we're talking about like it's a couple days before.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, you know.
Like it's 6 months before.
Yeah, like you order a Little Caesar pizza, it doesn't come, and all of a sudden it comes 2 days later. You're like, what? Okay, I'll take it. Right? Right?
No. I mean, I would take it.
So, Ryan, that's a weird metaphor, but sure.
Yeah.
You order a lot of Little Caesars, buddy.
We probably would have called like an hour later saying, "Where's our pizza, though?"
We're so sponsored,
guys. We finished Crossroads of Twilight.
Almost. Damn it. Well, okay. I mean, we can now if you want.
It's late.
Yeah, if you want. Damn.
What are the main beats at the end? Like big beats. What happened at the end?
She presents that she wants people to retire from being Aes Sedai by unswearing on the oath rod. Right. Thus extending their lives hundreds of years.
Amazing.
Lelaine was like, or Ramonda was like, what? You, no way that's going to happen. And so there's that big thing. She's like, all right, Bode and Leanne are going to ride off, but you know what? I changed my mind. I don't want Bode and Leanne to do it. I'm gonna do it and get my horse, get Daishar. You know what? Get Bella.
Yeah, you welcome. Here's Bella, late night, coming at you. It's a hot summer night.
I always get so excited when Bella's referenced in the book.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, it's gonna make sense. Bella raced and the sun slid lower. The sun is interesting in these chapters as well, and we didn't really touch on it. We don't have time really now, but the way that he describes the sun in like 3 of these 5 chapters was really fun. So
there's this important bit about like Egwin's like, oh, we haven't bound warders against their will in hundreds of years, and then they find out that the Ashaman have been bonding Aes Sedai as essentially warders.
Yep, that's huge.
There's also like they try to slide around. They're like, well, we can change the bond so we can have more control.
Compulsion? Egwin's like, oh, what, a compulsion?
Yeah, she's like, no, we won't feel their madness. Yeah, we could do this, and it won't even be like a water bond. It'll be just something else. And yeah, compulsion.
Yeah.
Which is indeed gross. We do recognize that this is. I mean, Egwin has a very firm leg to stand on here. But I mean, if she was Perrin, she would have said, "Fuck it, let's do it."
Perrin only in this last.
What I love about this is, like, if the White Cloaks did half the shit the Ace and I did, we would be like, hell, look at these zealots, look at these crazy people, blah 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 blah.
They do half the shit that the White Cloaks do. They just don't even acknowledge it, and they are constantly duplicitous in the way that they're communicating everything. So it's very confusing, and they're not direct, And I think that they do have lots of bad intentions, like most of the time, but not the direct path of what they themselves in the one thread that they're really trying to like accomplish or trying to accomplish. So if they're just focused on that, then it doesn't matter things they destroy. And if they say it in the wrong way, at least it's staying to the oaths for the oath, because they're just mixing their words around.
Mhm.
Get it?
No, absolutely. They're like NSA mob bosses.
Okay.
Hey, mob boss.
I don't know what that is. What's that? What's an NSA mob boss?
Right. Yeah. So many layers.
You know, Ryan, what is an NSA mob boss? Come on, tell us.
Let's move
Oh,
on.
we gotta move on, don't we? Because we're full of shit.
You mean that men
You're
in black
full of
type
shit,
government
Ryan.
operative?
Zagan?
A men in black type government operative.
A men in black type government operative. Yes.
Yeah, like a goon.
What are you calling me?
You're a goon, Ryan. A fucking
You're Goonies, right? Goonies. Down here, it's our time. It's our time.
You're right. Yes.
Shuffle, shuffle.
I'll kiss you. I'll kiss you with braces.
Harry,
I'll kiss you in the braces. Yes.
can I ask you, how upset are you that Egwene got captured?
I'm sorry, were you asking me?
Yes, you. Yeah,
Oh,
you. Silent one.
I hated this ending. I was like, what the F just happened? Like, why was Egwene standing there doing some complicated weave? What the hell was she planning?
Well, because
And-
Kristen was killed.
Wait, Ben.
Yeah, go. Like,
Ben, let her ponder, bro. Stop filling in the answers.
Yeah,
you're
stop.
the
You
best
gotta
in
stop.
chat.
You gotta
I get
stop,
you
Ben.
live, and you
Bro, you
fall
gotta stop.
apart.
Man. It's hard to do. I know. We have a skill.
Well, I do know that there was some Aes Sedai that ran off to go get some mint tea, and I'm wondering if that was the person who was involved with the kidnapping, because she mentioned a minty flavor when she came to.
Okay, maybe. Yeah.
Well, the minty flavor is the herb that causes them to not be able to channel. Fork root?
Oh, you think it's fork root's
Is it
minty?
mint?
Okay.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that was the implication at the end, was that she had been given fork root and she was not able to channel because of that.
Fork root. Oh my god, I had to collect that on Hogwarts recently.
Fork
also-
root, I barely know her.
Moon.
Fork root,
Egwene.
really know her, Ryan? Nice, yeah.
I just felt like it was anticlimactic in a way. Like, I mean, yeah, there was a big scene at the end where she got kidnapped, but I'm like, I wanted a battle. I wanted sword
Okay, yeah,
fighting.
It was 3 separate battles, though, Carrie. It was
No.
Matt versus, two on. It's Egwene versus her captors, and it's Perrin versus himself.
It's very.
Well, yeah. Welcome to my world. Like
Versus
every
the
night
dude
is
side up. Yeah.
Ryan versus him.
Ryan versus Mirror. Ryan versus
Ryan versus
Yeah,
him.
I'm constantly punching
That would be
mirrors
you,
like
Ryan. You just
Apocalypse
step
Now.
right into that fucking nightmare, don't you?
I'm Charlie Sheen punching myself.
You have tiger blood, dude.
Right.
So it ends with her getting captured. There is an Aes Sedai waiting. She gets blasted, and she wonders who betrayed her.
Yeah. What do you think?
Well, I feel like this is the same. In this chapter, we see Egwene doing the same power pole positioning that Perrin does at the end of his chapters. This is Egwene trying to level up in the face of all the Aes Sedai, but then she immediately subjugates herself again and goes and puts herself in this risky position.
Carrie, was it obvious to you what Egwene was doing?
No, and it's frustrating. She talked all this time about having some big grand plan that was kept under wraps and only a few people knew. I'm like, she never told us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is
Like,
that how you
like-
feel as well? Yeah, as well, Kat?
She's trying to dethrone Elida, but we don't really know what her tactics are.
Right. Okay.
Hmm.
So
You
yeah,
know that she was trying to send and accepted to do the work of an Aes Sedai.
A novice.
Who does that sound like? Her, right? That's what happened to her. She was a novice sent to hunt the Black Aja.
And she didn't think that was particularly fair.
Right.
Yep.
So she removes Bodhi
mm-hmm.
from that position and puts herself in that position instead, and ends up in a trap.
And she
Right.
even says she can only do it because the White Tower is at war at the moment.
Right.
What do we think of this decision? Jesus, this decision. I mean, obviously you got captured, but like, was it like a rational? Like, were you like, oh, that makes sense? Too bad she got captured.
Well, remember,
what the
Nynaeve-
fuck? Like,
The way that she just had time to realize that someone had braced the source not far away above her on the wall. Then something struck the boat, struck her, and she was aware of cold water enveloping her, filling her nose, her mouth, darkness. The same thing happened to Nynaeve when she was attacked on the boat.
Like Gideon with the balefire and
Yeah. Yeah.
all right,
I don't
Christian
know whether to
rapper.
feel bored or excited about that.
All right, I like this. Yeah, it's pretty much moronic favorite.
More
Okay.
on. Yeah.
You know, Christian, I love that. I love that when she gets on Bella and it's like, well, I got to pretend to be like Swan. So she like rides like all stupid.
Sadly, stupidly.
Right, yeah.
She's all. You imagine like they're like, well, okay, I got to ride like Ryan.
Trying to pretend.
No.
What? I ride
Yeah,
beautifully.
that's what I'm
man.
saying. It's offensive.
Yeah. I was
So,
instantly offended.
so Egwene wonders at the end of this chapter if she was betrayed. But was she? Or are these Aes Sedai in North Harbor just taking advantage of the fact that they got a bigger sword than they thought? Well, we certainly got better than we bargained for tonight, they say.
Oh,
They weren't expecting Egwene, but Egwene immediately jumps to the conclusion that she's been betrayed. And she wonders...
Well, as we,
But
as
they
we
weren't
discussed, it
expecting
didn't seem like
Egwene.
many people
They
knew
weren't.
this plan, though, right, Josh?
What's that, Dan?
Not many people knew of this plan.
But it was going to be Bodhi who was the one who went
Right.
across.
Mhm.
It was going
And
to
so
be.
she had been betrayed in the sense that Bodhi would have been captured, but now she put herself in that position instead.
Correct.
Why was Bodhi there?
Brightest bulb
Why
in the-
was that then?
Why was Bodhi there?
Why was Bode going there? To try to heal the wound between the tower and the rebels. That's my guess, but I don't know.
Nice.
Carrie?
I am so lost at the end of this book. I did not know, like, I didn't have a good inkling of, I thought maybe one of the Aes Sedai in the camp betrayed her, but I don't really have any proof or any good evidence other than the mint thing, but
Yeah. It would have to be. Well, you can accept that it would have to be someone very, very, very close to her, because she emphasized the entire time this is a big secret. Like,
It had
right,
to
like
be Swan or Leanne.
yeah, like you know, almost like it's either that she's just dumb and
The
going
one
okay.
has direct access to her skull through
Oh,
Halima?
there you go.
Halima.
Yeah.
Miss Halima.
well, my theory is that Halima killed the two Aes Sedai.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Well, we know that Halima can use Sidar, right?
Sight in.
Sidene, I mean, yeah, Halima can use Sidene, so that would explain who's been killing the Aes Sedai with Sidene.
Uh-huh.
Right.
So does
was
that
she
explain
captured?
how she got captured?
Was she captured by Aes Sedai or by the Forsaken or by
Or by
someone?
by the Black Aja.
This
Yeah,
person to be
Ooh.
able to manipulate any sort of situation for Egwene to be able to say, okay, this is exactly where she'll be, even if anything changes, even if Egwene decides something different in the moment, this person will always be with her, right? Like next to her. And
Who?
ready to put hands
Halima,
on her.
right? Yeah.
And ready to put hands on her. And that feels very unsafe to me on so many levels.
Well, but think about this though. Like somehow Halima lost her though. She's now in the White Tower. Halima can't massage her anymore.
I don't know if that matters. Like,
How was Halima giving her headaches to begin with? We don't really know, right? But
Oh yeah, here's a good question. Do her headaches continue when she gets in the tower, or do they stop?
well, who cares? Because I feel like
That's no, Ryan.
How dare you, Kay? How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you, Kay? This is a super relevant nerd question.
like the symptom of the thing that the person is doing to her is actually a problem. Like that's just a symptom. And what the actual problem is the thing that whatever the fuck she did to her while she was massaging her head. Like in that space.
So the question is, if she's physically away from Halima, do they stop?
well, it depends on if it was. So we've seen them be able to tie off weaves. So let's say Halima tied off a compulsion weave, like Varen, right? Varen wove that flower weave of compulsion that disappeared, right?
Yes.
This up? God, I feel like I'm making this up, but I know I'm not.
I don't remember flower.
Varen knew how to. Maybe it wasn't Varen. I feel like it was, but someone.
No shit. Keep going, Josh.
It was Varen, right? Okay, yeah. Varen like wove that flower of compulsion off on that person. So could Halima have done something similar to Egwene, where Egwene is actually under her control?
Yes.
And that's what's causing the headaches.
This is what I'm saying.
It's just some pulsion.
Some bullshit.
It's
Not compulsion. It's some bullshit.
Okay,
God
let's,
damn it, that's amazing.
let's
Shout out, Name
Wait.
God.
wait. There's more. We have the epilogue to talk about.
Yes.
Carrie, go. Yes. Well,
So
Devin,
it's more or less Rand meeting with Bashir. He is in Tyr. The Shanshan are amenable to discuss, but they don't want to talk to me. They want to talk to the big boss. That's you, Rand. He's like, oh, I'm meeting with Roth. They're like, no, it turns out you're meeting with someone else. They call the daughter of the Nine Moons. Thunder rolled again for distant lightning. Thunder rolled again for distant lightning. Awesome.
love it.
What did you want to mention on that, Carrie?
Predictions.
I just want to wrap this lovely book up.
Yeah.
Predictions. I mean, I feel like there's now going to be an alliance between the Sanchan and our heroes, which is then going to turn around and cause them to fight the bigger of the two evils.
How much danger is Egwene in?
A lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how long they're going to drag it out in a book, but for the next book.
Yeah.
I have a
Kay, what do you think? Is Egwene in danger?
Yes, a lot of danger, but I think that so the dice rolling there's thunder. There's a lot of shit that keeps being weird, like this rolling of thunder, this rolling of the dice.
Oh,
maybe
okay, yeah,
Josh,
it has
I like
something-
that.
Egwene,
no.
Josh, is
So
Egwene?
I'm stuck on who. So we saw Fork. So assuming that Egwene is given Forkroot at the end of the chapter, the first time we saw Forkroot was in Eyes and Ears of the Yellow Aja, if I'm not mistaken.
Rhonda Makura.
Okay. So we know the White Tower knows about Forkroot. If its eyes and ears know about it and used it to control channelers. So we can assume that these are Aes Sedai who are capturing her, whether they're Dark Friend, Black Aja or not.
Okay.
what does it mean that she says a strong dose for now? It's as if they've like gotten scientific with it and are able to like know what a strong dose. Like I feel like before it was like, oh, this stops you from being able to channel, and it would like knock them out. But now it sounds like you're administering
they got
them
down to the science,
like,
right?
oh,
Yeah,
strong dose for now. So that's the bit that makes me catch on the end of the chapter, the previous chapter. I do feel like Egwene's in danger, but I feel like she's more important than Rand for the story, so obviously she can't die. So plot armor kind of moment. Yeah.
DK Moon did bring up a solid point earlier, which was that like she's like so good at so many things, but just not great at not getting captured. Like she's just
she gets captured a lot.
Yeah.
And
Like if she has a plus 20 stats on everything, but getting captured 0.
Let's talk. There's one final thing of interest I'd like to bring up, and that's the end quote. It reads, "We rode on the winds of the rising storm. We ran to the sounds of the thunder. We danced among the lightning bolts and tore the world asunder." This is quoted as an anonymous fragment of a poem believed written near the end of the previous age, known by some as the Third Age, sometimes attributed to the Dragon Reborn.
Wait, we're in the Third Age.
We are in the Third Age. I think it's pretty clear that this is referencing Matt, Rand, and Perrin.
Absolutely.
What?
Sometimes.
All right, so it is written near the end of the previous age, known by some as the Third Age.
So it's from the current period.
Okay, it is
from the future. It's from the future.
We rode on the winds of the rising storm. The winds of the rising storm is presumably Perrin. No, who did we say was lightning? Was Matt? Thunder,
No,
Perrin.
the wind is the time itself, right? Like the time.
Well, I
times.
think winds are Rand.
The
Thunder
winds.
is Perrin, and lightning is Matt.
Oh my God, Josh, I hate you.
Remember there was the thing about Matt being lightning in the quote that Carrie read earlier in the show?
No, I totally. Well, there's also this like I don't know. I'm like going with this thunder rolling of dice shit, so it's a little confusing.
Okay.
Do you think that Rand wrote this?
No.
No. Some guy
sometime attributed to the Dragon Reborn.
Okay.
What do you think? Anyone?
I think it's the type of bad poetry that Rand would write.
Yeah, agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
maybe
And
like-
we are finished.
Spoken like
Anything
like a true poet.
I'd just like to say at the end of this, to me, this book, like I said, it's my 15th most favorite book of all time, right? And I think you can work out what the 14 above it are, but it's still a great book, and it lines up all the ducks. We get to see what happens when the cleansing happens, and then Perrin now has his army. Matt is leaving the circus, and Egwene is back where she belongs in the tower. This book does a lot of work that is really lost in the slog and the description and all of that. So that's why it's still my 15th most favorite book, but I love it.
Ben's a Crossroads apologist.
Yeah, no, I am. People hate this book, and I go, yeah, but right?
It's still important.
Yeah, but this and this and this, absolutely. Yeah.
The next book is rated by many people as their favorite in the entire series.
Hell yeah.
That's because it's set up so well by this book in so many ways.
I think these last few chapters, particularly the Matt chapters and the parent chapters for that matter, are super important and complicated and just nuanced and like will definitely impact things to come for sure.
Well, shit.
Battles of the wit, not of the armies.
Egwin's captured. File's captured. Parents trying to save. Who's gonna save Egwin? Who's Egwin's parent?
In that time, in that channel.
Say about
Gilad.
Go ahead, Kay.
Who's going to save Rand?
Hey, I just
Rand?
wanted before we leave, and it's been a long show. I just wanted,
Kay, what did you want to say?
I just wanted to say that oh fuck, I think I forgot already.
I have a final thought.
You go.
yeah. Help summarize it.
You go.
My final thought is I survived my first book with you guys.
Yes! Woo! I was going to say thank you guys. Thank you very much for going through this journey again with each and every book. I'm reminded of just how awesome you are, and we got through 10 now. We got Knife of Dreams coming up. I think we're going to take a week off so that we can eat. I'll get
Order the books on Amazon.
Yeah, go get the book on Amazon. But yeah, this has been great.
You didn't survive, Gary. You thrived.
You thrived.
I don't know. Josh makes my brain hurt sometimes. Thinking late at night, all these crazy theories and stuff. My brain is like, I know. And yes, we're going to WatCon. Woohoo!
Have fun at WatCon.
Yeah.
So yes.
Times.
Come,
Carrie,
I'm a little bit taller guy with long hair. If you're gonna say hi to me, though, buy me a drink, and then we're best friends.
All right, Carrie, how are you going to be approached? You're a celebrity now. Do you want like a 5-foot barrier, or how would you like to be approached?
I don't know.
Okay.
How about a solid high five until they?
Yeah, you want fist bumps? Fist bumps are good.
I mean, certain people are allowed hugs, extra big hugs. So
At least 8 seconds if you're a mere mortal.
You people, you know who you are. So
I only need 2.
people, figure it out. Approach her slowly.
Interesting.
All right, yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this baby up. I love you and I'm proud of you. You guys are awesome. We will be on starting Knife of Dreams next time you see us. Please like and subscribe. Look for us on Discord and Facebook and Patreon and all that. We also have a Sunday show generally that's called Tavern Talk, and that is a spoiler-filled conversation where we talk about all things spoiler, loose lips, sync, all spoil ships, relationships. All right, that's it. Run for your lives.
This is the way to leave.
And thank you for joining us, Ben. The Water Holocaust.
Have fun. Please give hugs.